different for sure. But yeah, what is up, everybody? What's up, Beefy Nation? What's up, UFC fans? What is up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? Wherever you're getting your Beefy Boys, we appreciate you tuning in and checking out what we have to say about last night's banger of a free card. And I was even saying how it was an ESPN2. It was on ESPN2, so you didn't even need ESPN Plus, just normal cable. Pretty much anybody could watch last night's card. That's always cool. But yeah,
that always helps with like helping the sport grow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for
like,
sure.
I guess it's like why do girls know, like, no offense to women, but like I'm just saying, like whenever you hear a girl that like loves football, it's probably not because she played. You know what I'm saying? Probably more than likely because she watched it on TV.
True.
Or went to games. Either way, but
yeah. And just get. Can you hear me all right? My headphones are acting a little weird. I think I'm gonna go a cappella.
You're a little echoey, bro. I'll be honest. It's not great audio.
What the fuck, dude? All right. It's weird. It's like one of my AirPods charged and one of them didn't. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well,
yeah,
we'll just rock it like
good.
this. We'll rock it like this. But yeah, this is episode 45 of Beefy Boys. Man, I was looking it up, man. Pretty much June. I think it's June 14th will be our 1-year anniversary, man, of Beefy Boys. That's
right.
It's coming up pretty quick, man. It's been a fun year, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody that's watched, tune in, like, share, been a part of the ride. It's a collaborative effort, or else we're just pissing in the wind here. But yeah, so we got Beefy Boys 45. It was Fight Night, Reyes, Prochazka, because like I said, we're officially off of the weird Vegas numbering system. I'm off the wagon.
Finally.
It's
yeah. Vegas 25, I don't care. I don't care how many Vegas numbers they want to call it, because that's going to end in the next probably 3 months. Or I guess June is when Vegas opens up, and I assume they're going to quit doing that.
Yeah. It is just that eventually I feel like over time that numbering system is going to be like kind of pointless. Like you have the big, like the pay-per-view numbers, you can track like a lineage and kind of remember where you were for like what like kind of era of UFC, but as far as keeping track of Fight Night numbers and Vegas this and Fight Island that, I mean, I think 15 years from now, like the history books just aren't going to remember it that way.
Well, no, and then when you say, like, if you say Fight Night Reyes Prochazka, it also reminds me of guys like Swanson and Chikadze. Like any of the other memorable things that happen on the card, like getting one fight that's memorable kind of helps jog the rest. So
yeah.
Like the number system honestly makes it like less memorable for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, exactly. And exactly. You can kind of remember where each guy was, like in their career trajectory path, like where those two guys intersected on that very night. Yeah, for sure, man. And I gotta say, man, I'm gonna kind of pat us both on the back, or we can kind of both pat ourselves on the back. You've been riding the Prochazka like hype train from day one, and I've been pretty high on Chikadze, like shoveling coal in his hype train ever since. Yeah, bro. Ever since we pretty much started this podcast, we've been very pro Prochazka and very pro Chikadze, and I feel like last night's card was just kind of it felt good. Like just because, like I said, those are two guys that we like with the Beefy Boys and other people. It's not like we're the only people that obviously they're super talented and their talent jumped off the screen, but we've been big on those guys, and they've been their ascension. Kind of their timeline like coincides perfectly with like the start of our podcast and like where we're at now, and we've kind of risen together. So yeah, it's just a special. Last night's card was special to me for those reasons as well. Like we've been high on those guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't think, and Prochazka hadn't fought since I believe July when he starched Volkan Ozdemir, and we both talked about coming into that fight for his backstory. It was pretty shocking that he comes over to the UFC and immediately has to fight Ozdemir. That was one of those things where we were like, wow, like what a test.
Yeah, they threw him to the lions then, but obviously because they saw the potential, right? They wouldn't have done that to like, a Chode or some just average prospect.
And he comes over with a record of 26-3-1, and he's the previous champion of Ryzen. So it's like, you got to throw some respect on it. And after watching the one cards like we've been watching, I think the champions in most other organizations can be in the UFC if they want to be.
Oh, yeah.
The champions. I don't know about the rest of the weights.
Yeah, and the one championship one's a little bit different because of the weight cutting situation. Like, I don't know if the flyweight champion, the guy that beat a Mighty Mouse, can make a 125 weight cut because their flyweight's 135 because he's like almost 6 feet tall. He's huge. So things like that. Things like that could be an issue, but talent-wise, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. And
Yeah, that's what I'm alluding to. Is the skill sets I think are comparable at the top, which is cool to see.
Yeah,
it is very cool to see.
Yeah, but like I said, and then I think even on the last, I forget what episode number it was. I should look that up. But the last time Chikadze fought, or the last time he fought before last night, I'm pretty sure I was like, dude, if his next fight's not a co-main or a main on a fight night, like I called that. I was like, if his next fight's not a co-main or a main, then we got problems here. So I don't know. Like I said, I wanted to take a second, kind of toot our own horns a little bit, because we both nailed both of these right on the head.
I think we also have their trajectory as far as like how the UFC is wanting to build them. I think we're seeing everything. You know what I'm saying? Like all the chips are down. We're seeing them all.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
feels good.
It feels good. It feels good. Like I said, and the reason why I wanted to emphasize our wins is because we've taken some monster L's and some cold takes. So I'm gonna take a second and smell the roses when we get one right, like we did. But man, we
spoonfuls of shit have been eaten.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even bring you a ladle today, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's a ladle-free Sunday. Got some Angry Orchards, man.
Yeah, I'm stuck on the claws. You know me.
Yeah, no, claws are a good daytime drink. I like the ciders for a nice daytime drink as well. I gotta say, just kind of, oh man, still getting them all you can. Still get that.
Oh yeah,
you better stock up. You're gonna be trapping wood soon, bro. You're gonna be trapping.
I was on Twitter the other day, like, oh my, like I really might go buy 100 packs of Russian creams. I'm not even kidding.
I thought about it myself, of and then wait until they're illegal and then selling them. But I just
it's smart. God, it's smart.
I honestly just
$5 a stick.
I'm just not trying to do that, man. I'm not trying to fucking hang out at the skate park in a trench coat with fucking backwoods and swishes.
Just flavors. Yeah. Joey flavors.
Oh man. Oh bro, but yeah, man. So and all right, quick caveat for the fans last night. I had many distractions. I had roommate drama going down during the fights. Ooh. Which then caused me to stress drink a whole case of Silver Bullet Coors Light, 16 ounces. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try my best. Some foggy memories. I'm gonna hang in there. I'm showing up. No load management for me. I still show up and give it my all. But
D-Mac the werewolf, baby.
Oh man,
getting killed by them silver bullets.
Overcoming obstacles, dog. But but no. Let's dive into these prelims, man, because they started with a bang. They started, man. Just couldn't have asked for a better night to start the prelims with, a better fight to start the prelims with, rather. We got Cool Hand Luke Sanders, one of my favorite names. Cool Hand Luke Sanders coming in at -135 favorite, fighting Felipe Colares at +115 underdog. They're fighting at featherweights, and goddamn is Luke Sanders just the thickest featherweight I've ever seen.
He's a what is it, fire plug? Spark plug. He's a spark plug.
Yeah.
Dude's a spark plug.
My wife Nina the whole time, she was just like, God, he's a pit bull. She kept calling him a pit bull just all night. Just he's such a pit bull. And yes, such a strong featherweight.
You remember Coach Nation used to call it, we would always call him spark plugs. He'd be like, that kid's a real fire hydrant. You hear him say that?
I don't think I did.
He referred to this kid from Jinx that was 5'7", 225. He was like, that kid's a full-on fire hydrant.
I knew it.
I was like, what?
That's hilarious. Oh, man. Shout out Coach Nation. Oh, man. But, the best isms in all the land is come from that man's mouth for sure. And not the bad kind of isms. Don't wanna. Yeah. Good catch. It's a good kind. Good catch. I ain't gonna do you like that, Coach. But yeah, man. So we have Cool Hand Luke Sanders fighting Felipe Colares, and this was this fight is why I love this sport. One of the many reasons, but because it's one of those things where if you would have paused the TV halfway through round one and been like, he doesn't win, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You're full of shit.
The tide of this fight was literally one pace the whole way, and it started at one end and literally went all the way down, all the way up to the other end.
Yeah, exactly. From one side of the spectrum to the other, for sure. But yeah, momentum is a real thing.
It's a motherfucker.
Well, and especially when you're a muscle-bound guy like Luke Sanders, I think shooting your load in the first round is a real thing. Especially he was fighting a rangier grappler like Colares.
I think it was Aaron Bronstetter that tweeted, MMA journalist, that tweeted Luke Sanders he's hell on wheels for 3 minutes, and then he's something entirely different for the rest of the fight.
And that's exactly what happened.
It's facts.
But I got to say, shout out to Colares' chin. So, I mean, if you can't gather it by now, I mean, Luke Sanders came out guns a-blazing and just was swinging for the fences. And he wasn't just swinging for the fences. He was landing big.
It was
connecting clean, right on the chin of Colares. And Colares just was able to he did get dropped, but he still was able to kind of just hold on, survive, I
think Sanders made the mistake of entering his guard too. Because I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure his coaches were yelling at him to get up. But because Colares is a really decorated grappler, Sanders not really. So it was kind of the idea for Sanders to keep it on the feet, which looked like that was going to be the only path in round one. But then it kind of started to shift after that first 4 minutes.
Yeah, and something else Sanders did a real good job of in round one that he totally got away from. And I mean, I guess it has to be blamed on the cardio. But, man, in round one, he was throwing the nastiest elbows. Like usually elbows are up against the fence or in the clinch or on a separation or on the ground and pound. He was throwing, open mat, striking.
Step-in elbows.
Yeah, they were gorgeous, and they were super effective. They were cutting that forehead up of Colares. And like I said, I don't know if he threw a single one after round one. They were so effective. And his body kicks were super.
I think he tried them, but he was just slowed down.
Too gassed.
Dude, he lost that fast twitch so fast.
Yeah, you're right. And as we've been alluding to, as you might could pick up, rounds 2 and 3 were a much different story. Luke Sanders, I would say, started to gas, but he was full-blown gassed. Essentially, he slowed down considerably, noticeably. Colares essentially didn't slow down. And he still had that chin. Now, at the end of the round, Colares almost got the ground and pound finish. I want to talk to you about this. And he was and Chris Tognoni was the ref in this fight. And I felt
Tognoni did a great job.
So you thought he did a good I felt like a little bit of ego got involved, and they alluded to it on the broadcast. So Colares have Sanders back at that point? I think he had his back.
Yeah,
right?
he had him flattened out.
Both hooks in, and he was just
postured up, raining down shots on both sides. Sanders was literally shelled, covering his entire
not really head. Fighting back, not even intelligently defending.
Well, here's what I'll say: is he was looking at the ref, you could see his head looking up while he was covering to see if Tognoni was getting closer, and then you see Colares keeps looking up at the ref, are you going to step in? Are you going to step in? Are you going to step in? And then, Tognoni's telling him, watch the back of the head. No, you're hitting the gloves. He's communicating to him, why he's not stepping in.
Yeah.
And then he starts landing a few good ones. And then that's when Tognoni says, fight back, Luke. And then Sanders, postured out.
Yeah, so
I think he was present the whole time. He was just, I'm flattened out. What the fuck do I do? He was gassing. It was just him kind of quitting, but then not.
Yeah, it had a slightly different interpretation. I think so. So just for people that maybe didn't watch the fight, he had him flattened out. He was raining down shots. I mean, from the precedent that's been set by the UFC referees, that fight gets stopped, I think, 9 times out of 10, especially if it's a different ref, somebody like Herb Dean.
It's Herb Dean, he stopped.
Exactly. But what happened is Colares is literally yelling at the ref, in a way I interpret it kind of like showboating, stop this shit. He's done. He was speaking Brazilian, but body language and shit talk translates. And for all intents and purposes, he was step in, it's over, I'm finishing him. Saying shit like that in Brazilian.
He's not fighting back.
He's not fighting back. Stop it. I'm winning the fight. And I think Tognoni didn't like that. I don't think Tognoni liked it, which he's every right not to like it.
He's right.
Yeah,
he's right.
Yeah, but I still think a little bit of ego got involved where he was I'll fucking decide when this fight ends, and just because you did that, now I'm not going to. I think there was a little bit of that. I think there was a little bit of that.
No. I will absolutely say that out of all the refs, him and Jaron Villel have the Joey Crawford syndrome, where they want to be present in the match. Their presence needs to be felt within the octagon. And it's you should be a ghost in there, man. You're in there with them, but you should be a ghost.
And I'm not saying I thought it was a finish because it was just so violent or unbearable to watch. That's not what I'm saying. I thought it was a finish because of Luke Sanders' defense, or really lack thereof, of shelling up when somebody has your back and you're flattened out. That fight gets stopped. That's, like I said, I'm not making that's what has been shown to me over the course of X amount of fights I've watched.
And definitely with it being the first prelims, that was a championship fight We've seen him let Jose Aldo get rained on for 90 seconds, but that's totally different because the stakes are totally different as to what that fight means in that moment.
Yeah, and like I said, and I guess you couple that with the context of me knowing that Sanders' cardio is zapped, and I'm like, it's over.
Right.
Like, but I don't know, should that factor in? Should it not? I factored it in. Maybe I'm wrong for that.
Well, I will say too, though, letting him go to the third round, he actually looked pretty good for the first 4 minutes of the third round because Kolaris got so tired finally.
Yeah.
But then Kolaris stepped on the gas and really absolutely won the fight in the end of the third.
You know what? I'm really glad you brought that up because halfway through round 3, because I scored round 1 Sanders, round 2 Kolaris, and then halfway through the third round, it was neck and neck. The fight was
I was 50-50. Right. Like either guy could have won, and then Kolaris just stepped on the gas and was got that takedown.
Yep.
Got the control in the takedown as well. Yes. It was
just enough. He edged him out by enough.
And when we talk about just enough, I was going to 10-8 the first until the last minute in which Kolaris actually outstruck him.
Yes.
So he saved himself from a 10-8 there and then won the last round, winning him the fight 29-28. All the judges agree with that score. That's what you have it as well, it sounds like. Me as well.
Yeah.
But he could have got 28-28 if he was lesser in any 1 minute of the last round.
Yeah, for sure.
Or of either of those rounds. It's crazy.
I know it's early, and I know there's a lot of the year left. I mean, we might have to earmark this one for a chin of the year contender. I mean,
I'm gonna mark it right now.
Yeah, because Kolaris, I don't know, he took big shots. But yeah, anytime you start the fight card off with an absolute banger that ends in an upset, I'm not mad at it. It was a really fun way to start the
Dude, we've been given some great starting fights lately. The last 3-4 cards, the very first fight has been pure fire.
Yeah, and
pure fire.
You just love it, right? Because you never know. It's usually some lower end guys, but I gotta say, Luke Sanders, he's a badass, and this is another one of those fights where I don't think Luke Sanders this hurt him that much because everybody already knew that cardio weakness, and the cardio weakness is essentially why he lost. And on top of that, he actually showed the ability to push through the cardio in the third round. So I don't think it was a horrible outing. He obviously looked really fantastic at certain points in the fight. He obviously has things to clean up, but I think he can go back in. And he'll be just fine. But yeah, we can keep it pushing. We got Andreas Mihalaitis versus KB Bular. Mihalaitis, I believe it was his debut, coming in at a -230 favorite, fighting KB Bular at +190 underdog. And they're fighting at middleweight.
I gotta say, I love Mihalaitis' name.
Yeah, I literally had
a sick name.
I wrote down a phonetic spelling that is hilarious. If you could see how I spelled it out so I could pronounce that, it's brutal. But yeah, no, he has a sick name. I believe he's Greek, and also KB Bular, man,
I got a lot to say about him.
I do too.
You go ahead.
Because man, it's like he's got the right car with the wrong driver. And what I mean by that, he's 6'4". I mean, he has the tools. He just has no motor or killer instinct or intangible. The intangibles, right? It's just that everything we love about a gutsy, the heart, the killer instinct, the want to, the willingness to trade, and just all the grit, all those
a fighter, being a fighter in your soul. You really have to be that or you're not going to be good at it.
Yeah.
It's just true.
Yeah, and the broadcast kind of beat this dead horse, but it was really the only way to describe it. Bular fights it's practice or that it's sparring or that
light sparring,
he's
not serious
gloves.
sparring.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, dude, you're in there with a guy that's trying to hurt you. A guy that
and Mihalaitis was trying to hurt him.
Yes.
That dude was throwing straight bombs.
Straight piss missiles. Yeah, not. And it was a really interesting clash in styles because textbook technique, Bular had him by a mile, but with bad intentions and just athleticism and intangibles, Mihalaitis had him by a mile. So it was really interesting to see how those kind of clash of styles. And I'm honestly we can kind of cut through the bullshit. I had it. All judges had a 30-27. I had a 30-27.
One judge had a 29-28.
Oh, he did? Oh my God.
I don't know how.
That's unacceptable. That KB Bhullar gave you absolutely nothing for 15 minutes. I'm like, and this is coming from a guy who actually likes leg kicks more than the average like UFC fan, and that's all he did was leg kicks. But like I said, they had zero ill intention. Yeah, zero bad intentions.
It wasn't like he was like chopping through. No. It was like he was like landing to hit the target.
Yeah,
it's like you know how they tell you like when you're gonna punch, like you should punch to like hit someone in the back of their head through the front of their head. You know what I'm saying? Like sit down your punches essentially, or sit down your kicks. He was just tapping.
Tap.
I didn't understand it.
Straight up Happy Gilmore, tap, taparoo. But fucking
he's done in the UFC, bro, because his first fight, this is exactly what we said his first fight.
Yep.
He didn't have enough aggression. He wouldn't attack. He wasn't active. And he lost that fight the same way. He got finished, actually, in that fight.
And also, I got to say, with how he was fighting, the fact that he had, like, what, 2 low shots and an eye poke, like, it was like, it just kept – this fight was a snoozer. That's why I don't want to spend too much time on it. I mean, I'll say it wasn't a snoozer on Mihalaitis' part. Like, Mihalaitis did everything possible to make it an exciting fight. He had no dance partner. Like I said, I'm glad he got the win. I can't wait to see Mihalaitis in there with somebody that actually, you know, and I don't want to be too hard on Bhullar because, you know, he did have the stones to get in that locked cage with him. But so I don't want to say he doesn't have like stones, but like, I don't know, somebody that's a more willing, you know, dance partner that's willing to trade, willing to bang, willing to engage. Like even if it's not standing and trading, like Bhullar wouldn't even engage really in clinch or takedown. It's like there's no engagement, period. So I'm not even saying it has to be a barn burner striker he fights next, but just somebody that'll fight with him, you know?
Yeah, no doubt, man. And like for Bhullar, I think he honestly probably gets cut. Yeah, to be real,
because he has no. But it's like there was no like shining moment.
There's no value. Yeah. There's no value in any of his loss. Like they're just literally losses that devalue him, which sucks.
Like there are good losses and bad losses, and I know some people will argue until they're blue in the face that a loss is a loss and a win is a win. But I think they're not all created equal, and these are bad losses.
No.
Like we just said, like Sanders' loss wasn't that bad in the previous fight. Like, you know, I would still if Sanders is fighting next week, I'm still excited to watch it, you know. But I'm saying Bhullar's fighting next week, I might go make myself a drink, like you know what I'm saying? But
right. Like his fight isn't like I'm not like sitting around or like if I see his name get put on the card, I'm not like, oh shit, KB Bhullar's fighting. Like gotta watch that. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, and
it's like the exact opposite.
6'4" middleweight striker like should be really fun to watch, and it's just not. It just like I said, and but yeah, we'll keep it pushing, man. Mihalaitis gets the win. You know, covers as a -230 favorite. Yeah, listen, I'm excited for his next fight. He didn't really take any damage. He's a young, you know, guy. I imagine he wants to get back in there pretty soon. A new fun middleweight, right? Middleweight's been a little on the bottom end of the middleweight's been a little.
The bottom end is murky,
the top end is
top
nice.
end's great.
Yeah, but that bottom end. So I'm excited. A new little infusion of middleweight talent, Mihalaitis. But man, this next fight, I was really looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of.
Love this next
Loma Lookboonmee -400. She's had over like 200 or 300 Muay Thai fights. She's been fighting Muay Thai overseas since she was like 7 years old. And you see it in her style. Looks like she's in a K-pop band. A big Lookboonmee fan. And she's fighting Sam Hughes +310. This was the biggest money line on the card. And I got to say, for being such a huge underdog, Sam Hughes did fight really well. She did some she took the fight places where she had a chance. She gave herself a chance.
Yes.
She fought smart.
She kept the fight near her path to victory.
Yeah, exactly.
She didn't just get like dragged into a Muay Thai match, which was super important for her. Now she did eat some hard shots in getting to grappling positions. And also shout out to her forehead for being the biggest forehead I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh my God. Nina was like those braids. Nina hated the way those braids looked on her head. It was pretty rough.
It all looked bad. It all looked pretty bad.
But I gotta say, from a pure X's and O's standpoint, like she fought the exact fight that I'm sure her coaches wanted her to fight. Like, yeah, she ate some shots, but you're gonna eat some shots when you're fighting Lookboonmee. She's an elite striker, and especially in the strawweight division. Now. Round 1, I had a 10-9 Lookboonmee, but what impressed me the most, I've gone on and on about Lookboonmee striking, but she wrestled like a motherfucker in round 1.
Yeah.
She had multiple takedowns, the ground and pound. I was really surprised at her grappling. It kind of obviously this is a huge stretch, and I'm giving that asterisk now, but kind of like how Shevchenko was like came out and wrestled and like nobody expected it. Like I expected her to come out and strike, especially considering that Hughes was trying to grapple.
These Muay Thai people can grapple pretty fucking well. Yeah. I'm always surprised by it. I'm always surprised by it.
Paulie Redstash was talking about it on the broadcast, how he and Bisping, how when they go to Thailand and they'll be grappling with somebody 40, 50 pounds lighter than them and get just tossed around. So great point. Yeah, the Thais underrated wrestling coming out of Thailand for sure.
Just because they have this like weird point of control in your neck that like you're not used to, right? Because their clinch is all kind of based on like right above the shoulders, whereas like most other wrestling styles look for like body locks or like leg picks, whereas they're trying to just kind of trip you by getting your balance completely off by pulling your head forward. It's just different,
Yeah, for sure, exactly. Yeah, no, and different but effective. Now in round 2, I actually scored a 10-9 Hughes. I thought her ability to keep yeah, I mean, it was close. I mean, it wasn't like
it was super close. It was super close.
But like I said, but her ability to make the fight look much different in round 2. Like I believe in round 2, she took the fight where she wanted it, and she was able to keep Look Boomy pressed up against that fence. Like I said, it's not like she was inflicting a bunch of damage, but I did think she had some nice clinch control, and like I said, it wasn't an emphatic win, and I'm definitely open to hear your scoring, but yeah, I had a 10-9 Hughes.
I just thought Loma did enough damage. I didn't feel like Hughes did really much damage in the second round.
Fair. I'm right there with you.
But oddly enough, in the third round, I actually thought that Hughes won the third.
Okay, I'm really interested to hear this. So in round 3 is whenever my like household drama like popped off. Jesus Christ, and it's all good now, thankfully. But anyway, it was pretty rough in the moment, and so I pretty much missed the third round, bro. So it's wet because I assumed Look Boomy looked good because spoiler alert, the judges gave it pretty much all gave the third round to Look Boomy, but I didn't really get to watch it. You're saying you liked Hughes. How did round 3 go down? Because like I said, unfortunately, due to whack bullshit, I had to miss round 3.
So it felt like a replay of round 2 for the most part, but Hughes actually was starting to land more shots standing.
So I probably would have leaned Hughes too if I leaned Hughes in 2.
I think so.
Wow. Yeah, man. It was a close fight. It was a fun fight. From what
good fight. It was a good fight.
Kinda, got some water thrown around at the end for me. But from what I saw of it, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I like watching Look Boomy fight. I thought Sam Hughes, for being the biggest underdog on the whole card, fought really, really good and did about as
that's
well.
Stock up in a loss.
Yeah, and it's like, about as a plus 310 underdog, fighting a striker to manage to keep her pushed up against the cage and kind of take the fight where she wanted it to be and not just be outclassed. And I thought she looked really good. I do. But yeah, Look Boomy gets the minus 400 win. Now let me ask you this: Is it hill worthy? We rolling out hills here? I'll ride with you.
No.
Close.
No. Yeah, this fight was way too good, way too close. And I still scored the second round to Look Boomy, so I had 29-28. Look Boomy.
Okay.
So
all right, cool. All right, awesome, man. We'll keep it pushing. But yeah, good fight, man. Like I said, this prelims, I was looking forward to these prelims because sometimes the prelims turn out to be a banger, but when you're looking at the card beforehand, you're like, this one, like, I was actually looking forward to these prelims. Like these prelims, like, I thought they were going to be heat, and they turned out to be heat. They delivered. Now this next fight reminded me a lot of our first fight. We got Pauliana Patellio fighting Luana Carolina. Patellio, big favorite at minus 270. Carolina coming in at plus 220. Fighting at women's flyweight. Now, Carolina missed weight by, like, what was it, 1.5 pounds, or was it 2 pounds?
2.5.
2.5. Okay, so that's starting to be an issue when we're talking about 125, 2.5 pounds. I mean,
right.
That's 10%? Oh, no, that's 1%. Yeah, that's 1%. Sorry, my math major over here. Not really. But, all right. So, now, round 1, I thought Patellio looked amazing. Like, came out looking like another one of these fights where if you would have paused it halfway through round 1 and be like, she doesn't win, I would have called you a crazy person.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I actually was leaning toward 10-8 for the first round for Patellio.
Yeah, you're right. It was close. It was the reason why it was starting to lean that way, because not only she outclassed her on the feet, and then was able to have that big takedown and out-grappled her all in the same round. I feel you. Like, I didn't score a 10-8, but it's starting to get to that territory. It's starting to, you know, approach those waters for sure.
She just felt dominant in like all phases for me, and was doing damage, I thought, too. So
now round 2 reminded me a lot of round 2 in the last fight of the Look Boom Me fight, because I thought in round 2 Carolina was able to like keep her pressed up against the cage, really control a lot of the position. But I thought that Patellio was inflicting more damage. So it kind of reminded me of the round 2 in the last fight. I scored a 10-9 Carolina because of the cage control. But like I said, she did take some damage. Like, I don't know. How did you see it?
So I saw round 2 to Carolina.
Yeah. Me
just
too.
for like the like, just like, I thought she controlled the position a lot better.
Yeah.
I did write that it was like a super 50-50 round.
It was.
Actually wasn't the most active either.
Yeah.
Because of like the way it was pressed up on the cage.
Yes.
So we didn't have the most to score from, but I thought with all things considered, it was just a little lean to Carolina.
So we both had it pretty much one round apiece tied up going into 3.
But I had it 10-8 first round, so I had Patellio up 19-8.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because that comes into play here, doesn't it, with the judges?
It will,
for sure. Okay, so that's interesting. That's fun. And then so round 3, I think we can pretty much all agree on. Carolina had like over 3 minutes of grappling control, mixing in damage too. It wasn't boring grappling control. There was actually some pretty decent ground and pound happening. I'm pretty much I saw that 10-9.
I for sure saw her winning the third 10-9. Yeah.
Okay, so we're in lockstep there. So I have it 29-28 Carolina.
I have it 28-28 draw.
And so how did the judges score it? I didn't write down the judges.
One judge scored it 29-28 Patellio, and then 2 judges scored it 29-28 Carolina. So it was a split decision.
Okay, yeah, a split decision for Carolina. Close fight, and man, so
yeah.
So no judges pretty much saw it how you saw it, but I still don't think how you saw it is like that crazy. Like I said, that was a dominant first round.
I mean, if one judge had leaned my way from the 2 that
would that have been a split draw?
Yeah.
Which foreshadowing.
Yeah. Foreshadowing. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. But yeah, so that was a fun fight. Cashes as a 230 dog or plus 230 underdog. Tolares was technically the first underdog to cash, but plus 115, I'm not really
pretty much
calling that an underdog. Yeah, that's pretty much pick 'em. So
yeah.
Good on her for stealing that win there. That was nice. But keeping it pushing to the next fight.
We got a lot.
We've been talking about Hills.
We've been talking about Hills.
Roll that motherfucker out at the featherweight division, because TJ Brown was fighting at plus 130 versus Kai Kamaka, who was minus 160. Minus 160, is that the right number?
Kai Kamaka, I had a minus 155. Yeah, so I mean, and then I had TJ Brown at plus 130. So yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we were just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So. I thought it was honestly a super tight first round, man, that I leaned Kamaka over towards Kamaka for it.
Which I'll be real, that's how I
just
thought
landing
this
the
fight
better
was going to
shots.
go down. Like when I had this fight circled, I was like banger potential.
100%.
Like I was excited for this one. Like I said, this fight was just littered with these little fights on it. I was just like, oh, that's going to be a good one. Like maybe not the flashy, but just like this fight's the perfect example. On his own, Kai Kamaka, on his own, TJ Brown. But you match those two up, I'm tuning into that for sure.
Right.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm totally with
you. But yeah, round 1, it
I
was a close banger. I had a 10-9 Kamaka. He did land more significant strikes. I mean, it was close, though. I mean, both men had their moments. Both men landing, both men eating shots, both men showing toughness, both men showing aggression. It was a banger. It was a heater.
And for as much damage as Kamaka was doing with his hands, I thought Brown was landing a lot of nice leg kicks in the first round that were kind of money in the bank style. I thought they would pay off later.
They weren't Boular style leg kicks. They actually had a little something.
Yes,
for sure.
Correct. So yeah, man, I still gave it, like I said, to Kamaka, but so we both have it 10-9 to Kai Kamaka. Super close first round. Close. Super fun to watch too.
Yeah, and
very
fun. We're talking about rolling out of hills. Round 1, round 1 was a very close round. Anybody that scored that round for Brown isn't necessarily out of line.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But we'll get to the reason why I think there's a hill.
Okay.
So in the first round, first round, right, 10-9 Kamaka. Second round starts. 1 minute into it, Brown hurts Kamaka.
Yes, had him
had him pretty hurt.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Out there on some wobbly legs. But then Kamaka responded by dropping Brown with a huge shot down the middle. And then somehow Brown survived by staying in guard. I couldn't. This round was insane to me. I don't know. I want to ask how you scored it, because like it was so back and forth with like these huge like crescendo moments.
You're right. It was back and forth. I scored a 10-9 Brown. I thought he had Kamaka closer to being finished than Kamaka had him to being finished.
Really?
Yeah. I thought, dude, Kamaka was in a world of trouble. His legs were straight jello. Now, almost
Brown got dropped.
Yeah, you're right. I actually, maybe I don't know. It was a little slippy to me. Like I don't know. Like,
I mean, he got hit and then kind of shouldered to the
that's
floor.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't
check.
like a straight, like a flat.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
But now, like that's why it's not all created equal. Like, I'll take Kamaka's. Like, I'll take getting dropped the way Brown got dropped over Kamaka's jello legs. They literally were like this. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was in deep. Now, credit to both men for powering through. Like I said, I don't think Brown, even though he hit the mat, technically, I don't think he was in as much trouble. Totally a judgment call, though.
Yeah. So crazy close round that was like in wildly roller coaster back and forth, up and down. I even wrote at the very end of it, insanely close round, razor thin margins. And I just thought that Kamaka had Brown hurt worse, which is weird because that was your criterion for scoring it to Brown. So
yeah,
it's
totally
an
eye test. Yeah, totally an eye test thing. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, but super close banger of a fight. Above all, I was entertained as fuck. It was such a good fight.
Oh yeah, great fight. So you had it 19-19 after 2,
I did.
And I had it 20-18 to Kamaka.
Yes.
Okay, so in the third round, Kamaka started getting some takedowns. So
it was so interesting because
Brown,
the first 2 rounds took place exclusively on the feet, pretty much, and it was a straight slugfest, stand-up, essentially kickboxing match. Round 3 turned into a grapple fest. It's just such a great example of mixed martial arts. Both men showing that they're well-rounded. I thought Kamaka's wrestling and ability to kind of come out on top of the scrambles. I had round 3 10-9 Kamaka. I said I thought. Round 3 turned into a grapple fest, and I thought Kamaka out-grappled him. So, I actually thought it was one of the easier rounds to score, easier to score than the stand-up rounds, for sure. Yeah. So I thought so too. Now, you scored a 30-27 Kamaka then?
Yeah.
Wow. I had it 29-28 Kamaka, but we'll get to how the judges scored. The first judge saw a 30-27 Kamaka, just like you did. Now, the broadcasters were like, how did they score at 30-27? And
I know how they scored at 30-27.
I agreed with the broadcasters in the moment, but hearing you had very sound reasoning and said round 1 was a coin flip.
I will agree with that.
Round 1 was a coin flip. Round 2 was essentially up for interpretation, up to discretion, And then round 3, I thought round 3 was pretty undeniable. But and then 2 judges scored at 29-28 Brown. So the only thing that makes sense to me is that they scored the first 2 rounds for Brown, right?
That is a saucy travesty to give a coin flip to the same guy both times.
Exactly. And I guess you could say, well,
that's a saucy travesty, and that's why I'm rolling that hill out, bro.
That's why you're rolling out the hill?
Yeah.
Man, the weed delivery service texted me instead of Nina, even though Nina's the one that ordered the weed. I don't know how I should handle this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to find out where she's at. I'm so sorry.
Delivery, man. California is trippy. Maybe. No one tells me about delivery of weed, but, I don't think Oklahoma has it. But we do have, the loosest cannabis laws in all of the United States. So if anyone's going to have it, let's go, Oklahoma. And it sounds like he's going to miss his delivery. Can you imagine? Can you imagine just debiting your card, getting weed delivered, but then missing your delivery? Sheesh. This guy's out here. Oh, man. I thought hurricane season was over.
Dude, I literally don't know where my wife is. I can't text her. I'm using my phone. Oh, my God. I don't know why they texted me. She ordered it off her phone. My life is hectic, dog. All right.
That is absolutely hilarious.
Fuck, dude. All right. So, all right. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. I guess I don't know. I'm sorry, everybody. I really am. Like, I feel this is so whack that this is happening live on air. But yeah. So hold on. You guys don't get weed delivered out there?
Not that I'm aware of. Hell no.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. No. I like it, dude. Honestly, like I hate waiting in line, and I mean, sometimes you gotta wait, and sometimes whack shit like this happens. But I like having them drop it off. I like having it, and you got to hit a certain threshold. I think you got to order like $55 worth or something to get it.
Is it like Weed Maps or Leafly or something? Like,
pretty much every dispensary has it. Yeah, there's different ones. There's even like essentially it's a company called Ease, which is essentially like DoorDash for weed. Like they can go to like any dispensary and like get what you need.
That's tight. That's tight.
Yeah, for sure.
Tight.
But all right, I'm so sorry. We'll reel it back in here. Try to get this fucking train back on the tracks here. So were we in the middle of rolling out hills? Is that what we were doing here?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they're on some bullshit. This fight scoring was on some bullshit. We're rolling out hills everywhere.
We're rolling out hills to die on, people, man. All right, so man, you know what? I might have talked myself out of rolling out the hills. Actually, you know what? I'm not, because like you said, it's bullshit that they gave Brown both of the coin flips, and I just think it's bullshit. I mean, it was a very, very, very close fight, and it was a split decision.
But the first round was like a coin flip that I feel like was like weighted, right? Like a weighted flip. Like I thought Kamaka did a little more.
Yeah, he did.
Because the second round was a real 50-50. Like I don't know how to score the second round. The first I felt like was a 10-9.
And this is another one where if we're using the one criteria where they score the whole fight.
Hell yeah, Kamaka wins.
It feels like a lawyer ball kind of victory for sure, which is why I'm starting to like the whole judge the whole fight thing better, because
yeah, it's better that way.
You slide and you steal a second round and have a coin
because
flip
think about this,
round,
man.
But
think about this. That was a 10-minute war in which you couldn't have elected a winner in the first two rounds together.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's just like a whole fight through that 10 minutes. You would have no idea. In the last round, you would know who won because Kamaka started.
It ended on top, exactly.
And it makes sense too, because that mimics how a fight would occur in real life, man. Like.
No,
if you win a fight in real life, you're winning the end of the fight.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I'm the captain of that. The one fight I lost, I came out strong. It didn't matter because it ended real horrible. So, no, that's a prime. I'll take it from me.
You were Cool Hand Luke out there.
Yeah, take it from me, folks. It doesn't matter how you start a fight. You can start it as good as you want to, but if that other guy ends it, then he ends it. So, yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Yeah, we're rolling up the hill. Kai Kamaka should have got that win.
I'll let you introduce this next one real fast. I'm going to grab a lighter because mine just ran out of juice, which is so sad.
You know, I'm going to peek out the window. I think we're both. That's what's going to end up happening.
I mean, it's no worries. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good.
We out here.
It's all good. It's all good.
We out here.
You know who else is out here? Randa Marcos' record is out here.
You're goddamn
dangling
right.
in the wind.
You're motherfucking
dangling in the wind.
I mean, it's on life support, dog.
It's on life support. Like, how did we even get here? I need to get on her like tapology. The only way, like, because all right. So what I'm getting at is her record going into this fight was 10-11-1. Like, that's literally sub 500. Like, how are you on the roster?
I mean,
it had
she
to
has
be
like 4 UFC losses, bro. I don't understand it. And like 2 UFC wins. I do not understand it.
It had to be a situation where it's like every other one, right? Those couldn't have been consecutive losses, or she would have been cut.
No, and she has like 2 submission victories that were like super sick that we loved. Like, she's a good submission artist. She just fights like they always give her tough fights.
Yeah, for sure. Which, I mean, whenever your record's 10-11-1, they have no incentive to like build you up. So yeah.
Well, and like she's older. Like, she just presents a like kind of a one-way street challenge. which they love to like give to young people to see if they can pass like her jiu-jitsu game.
Solve the puzzle for sure. Yeah, we see it all the time. The older grappler gatekeeper, for sure. Fighting. So it's Random Marcos at plus 145. Which I honestly thought the money line should have been bigger. But, like I said,
yeah, I agree. But also, Pinheiro did show some, I mean, first fight in UFC, but, like, dude, she was making some, like, errors that were, like rule-style errors. Like, every time that Marcos tried to enter the swing, she would distance and put her hands out just like that. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
You cannot. The fight almost fucking ended, which would have just been, like, a no contest on an eye poke in the first round.
I think we would have all been better off, bro. I think we would have all been better off.
Dude, with how this fight was like such a whack conclusion to a great prelims, to be quite honest. Like the rest of the prelims was fucking sick. Patellio and the other Carolina, that fight was a little slower than the rest, I felt like. Or actually, no, the second fight was fucking a snooze or bullet buller. We blame him.
Yeah, it was all bullet.
We blame him. And that was a good talking point. There's not really many good talking points in this fight other than violations that both girls were committing.
Yeah, exactly. Because, Pinheiro was having the fingers out. And then...
I do have to give credit to Pinheiro, actually. Her throws were fucking sick. She was literally, like, throwing Random Marcos, like, to where her feet, the bottoms of her feet were facing the ceiling. Like the throws were fucking sick.
No, those were sick. Great point. I'm glad you brought that up. And so like in first round we had an eye poke, and then before the round could even end, it was this weird scenario where was it after one of those throws when they both hit the mat? Is that where the final sequence? Is that how we got there?
Yes.
Yeah. So one of those sick throws that Harrison was talking about, Pinheiro. So they both ended up on the ground, and like whenever they both. Right when they hit the mat, they kind of like separated from each other, right? Like a
right.
boom.
Well, yeah, because they get a little bit of separation because Marcos gets her knee up on the chest and then kind of like kicks her off a little bit, and then immediately throws the other foot and just kicks Pinheiro right in the face with her whole ass foot. Both Pinheiro's knees are on the ground.
Yes.
You can't upkick a grounded opponent. That's just a clearly illegal strike.
Yes, and it was weird because. We've seen, obviously, the most famous one is the Sterling Yawn fight, but we've seen a strike to or a knee or a kick to a grounded opponent when one person's standing and the other person's down. It's weird ground to ground, right? It's like I surface the air missiles. That was a ground to ground kick,
But it's like, wait, they're both on the ground. Like, why is that wrong?
It made me pause, right? Now a rule's a rule. I'm not here to debate that, but doesn't it seem less wrong than one person standing kicking the down? Now the rule, it's like the letter of the law. Like I said, I'm not really debating. I don't know. What were your thoughts on like the ground?
So with the up kicks, I don't know, man. I'm really 50-50 on it because you think about the fact that they're both on the ground. And so, like, ground-to-ground strikes, it would make sense they could both fight in that realm and do whatever, right? Because, like, if I'm laid over I don't even know how you would knee someone from being grounded if you were on top or kick them. It'd be weird. But point being, the other side of that coin is, if you think about, like, leg presses, for anyone that goes to the gym and works out, D-Mac salty. Leg press, when you think about it, man. People that squat, like, 315 pounds. Not a huge squat. Well, it depends on your weight. But for someone like my size, 220 pounds, that's not a big squat. Leg press, you do like 700, 800. You know what I mean? Like, I can almost double that up because you're laid up on your back.
Oh, that's so annoying. I'm sorry. Please continue.
But you got some good weed, though.
You got some.
Watch it be the wrong weed. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm about to take a fatty. I got 4 grams.
Yeah. You're gonna ask Nina why she didn't answer her phone?
No, apparently they didn't even call her. But I asked the dude, I was like, "Why'd you call my phone?" He's just some fucking stoner delivery driver. Just like, what? It's like I was like, "Yeah, I didn't use my number to order, dog." And he's just like, "What? It's $80." Like, Man, fuck here. Jesus Christ. Let me bust out this.
Well,
okay. That's what I need. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, you're good. I was just explaining the why I'm 50-50 on like if up kicks grounded to grounded should be legal or not legal. But and I just finished it up as you got back, so it was perfect time.
Cool. We'll keep it pushing, man. Let's get to this main card, man. So yeah, that fight.
Well, hold up. We got to talk about the finish.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know where at that.
No, yeah, you're good. I wanted to wait to get to that because I was just explaining that like my whole argument is like when you leg press, if you think about like a leg press, you can leg press a fuck ton of weight, right?
Yeah.
Like way more than you can squat.
Yeah.
So clearly your hip strength going up against, like with your back against something is really fucking crazy.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Yeah, you can, in a way, generate more force.
Generate way more force.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's where I kind of, because it's not on your back to carry the weight. It's just your hips exploding through that weight with like a leg press. You know what I mean?
Well, and then, what was it? Was Pinheiro's like reaction kind of takes all the speculation out of it. I mean, she was gone. She was in another dimension.
And you played football probably more years than I did, obviously a higher level. You've seen dudes get concussed. I've seen dudes get concussed. She looked like someone that was like her eyes were dinner plates, bro. They were saucers.
I'll be real. I never saw a concussion that bad playing football, high school, college. Like, that was worse.
Brad Davis against Midwest City? Or Gavin Eddington?
You know what?
Or Forrest?
I don't know, bro. Like, were they in another dimension, bro? She was in another dimension. Like,
Brad kept asking on the bus when we were coming home from, I think it was PCO. He kept asking, why are we on the bus? He didn't know why we were on the bus. He didn't even know what we did that day.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say because, like, that's hours after. I'm talking about, like, in the moment. Like, I don't know. She like I said, her eyes were. She looked like a cartoon character. Like, whenever, like, you hear the cuckoo clock and the eyes are going like this. Like, she got. I don't know. She was bad.
She was bad in the sense too that like. And the only reason I brought up Brad's is because it was the same as we're like, they don't go completely like out. Like, like for Gavin's, he was out. His arms were like locked against his chest. Like that was a whole different thing, right? Yeah. Like that was KO shit. Now what happened to Brad was like, he got up and then immediately fell right back down on his face because like his like natural, physical reaction was like, get up, it's football. It's, it's just ingrained. And then boom, fell immediately back down. And that's when everyone like ran over and like, he tried to get back up. Everyone like kept him down. Was like, no, chill. And that's when he started asking like, what just happened? Like he was done. He had no idea what happened.
Yeah, well, in this one, thankfully, she stayed down the whole time. So that was good that she didn't like try to get up and fell over. And it went on so long, just it was noticeable because I think while they were like officially announcing the DQ, she was still like sprawled out. And I thought it looked so bad because like. There's being like on your back and there's being like sprawled out. Like she was like a starfish still like 5 minutes after it happened. She was still like starfished out. Like, I don't know. It was
like the world was like spinning and she like didn't know what she was seeing.
Yeah, man, that was bad. So great point on how you can generate all that force with an up kick. I think after all that, I think I'm obviously cool with the grounded to grounded kick still being illegal. Especially if that's the end result. Like I'm not like that shouldn't really be a part of the sport. I don't feel like so yeah. I'm and only one round hadn't gone by yet. So not enough of the fight had gone by to be scored, which we've seen be a theme. And so it went straight to DQ.
Yeah, which I don't know. I could have seen this one being a no contest for it just being violations have because Pinheiro got a hard warning on eye pokes.
Yeah, this fight was just a disaster from this jump.
It was a disaster. I feel like this should have just been a no contest. It should have gone on neither girl's record.
It just didn't even happen. Maybe they felt like that's because a DQ.
If Marcos is smart, she'll go to the Nevada State Athletic Commission and argue it.
I'll say this. I mean, if I was a Pinheiro fan or if I was in Pinheiro's corner or if that was my person I cared about, I would think it deserves a stricter punishment than a no contest. Like the DQ, I would feel like is appropriate if you're coming from considering she hurt her bad. Like that, it's not like one of these. Oh, a rule was broken, but kind of.
But it wasn't on purpose. Like it wasn't. I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
I mean, she was trying to kick her in the face, right? Like that's
100%.
That's why.
100%. But I think she it's the sequence in which it occurs, right? Because she kicks her once in the chest to try and back her off, and so she's like scissor kicking. So she's going 1-2 with her legs. So it's like throwing a combo.
Yeah, and I think that second part of the combo was meant to land on the chin, dog.
It was for sure. Yeah. But the idea with the first one is that you kick her up, so she's off her knees.
Yeah.
She just fucked up.
It didn't work. I don't know. I don't think that falls into the category of accident.
Well, I couldn't score the round if you called it to the scorecards because it was the first round.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. No, I feel
so. I feel like that's a no contest, right?
But why is it a no contest? Because somebody fucked up.
Because this bitch poked her in the eye so fucking hard. You know what I mean? I'm just out here. I'm just out here.
Eye for an eye for real out here. Eye for an eye. All right, man. Let's keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Let's get to this main card. Yeah, man.
Shout out Hammurabi.
Man, all right, man. Yeah, so that's a DQ, man. And I guess.
You motherfucker.
All right, man. So we got Merab Divishville. I was really looking forward to this fight too. This was another one that I had circled. Merab Divishville versus Cody Stamen.
Yeah.
Rankings.
This was a fight I actually was.
13.
I was pumped for this fight, though, bro. Super pumped. Like, stylistically, this matchup is phenomenal.
Well, and it's not a Beefy Boys episode unless we're talking about how deep bantamweight is. And what I'm getting at here is, usually a 12 versus 13 matchup doesn't have that much impact on the division as a whole. But because there is such like a traffic jam of trying to get into that top 15, sorting out that bottom five is actually super relevant and important in a division like bantamweight because you got
and tough to do at that.
Yeah, exactly. And also kudos on these guys to like agree into the fight and
100%.
Yeah. There's too much bullshitting going on nowadays, so they both agreed to it. Divishville from Georgia, the country of Georgia, the same country as Giga Chikadze.
Giga.
So it's crazy. They have about the same population as Oklahoma, bro. It's like that'd be like
really.
Yeah, it's like 4 million, like ballpark.
Damn.
And so that's
crazy.
Imagine if 2 Oklahomans were like climbing the ranks like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of similar.
I mean, we could do that. Jimmy Flick, come back.
Shout out Jimmy Flick, man. Yeah, I hope whatever.
Good dude, though.
Whatever that dude decides, I hope it works out for the best for him. You know what I mean? But back to the task at hand. We got Divishville coming in at -240, Stamen at +200, which that's a pretty big money line considering it's 12 versus 13. But Divishville.
I was surprised by that. But after the fight played out, I was less surprised.
Yeah, and I definitely thought Divishville was going to win. So it's like if I'm Vegas and
True.
You think somebody's going to win, that's kind of what a money line looks like. So I did think he was going to win. I felt pretty confident about him. But so another thing about this fight, apparently it was the third time it was scheduled. Each guy had to pull out once. So once again, kudos to them for kind of sticking with it and just not giving up on it and just actually they both felt like they owed each other the fight.
Well, and it played out for them that they both kept their win streaks going and kept in their ranked ascension as well throughout their cancellations. Yeah. So I think that plays a big part in it too. It was 12 versus 13. It just makes sense.
It makes too much sense. Yeah, for sure.
Rankings McGee strikes again.
It strikes again for sure, man. But yeah, round one, it was a close round. Now I thought Merab's right hand was landing hard, and it was just pretty much there consistently. Stamen was not able to really figure out that right hand of Divishville in the first round, at least. And it's another classic example of the whole threat of the takedown, setting up the hands because, Divishville known for his wrestling, but he was able to set up that right hand all night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Divishville's wrestling and striking combination was just a little sharper all around than Stamen. He kind of kept Stamen on the back foot as far as how I thought the fight was occurring. And then beyond that, both these guys in their wrestling transitions were incredibly clean because even when the other guy would take them down, they had no fear to just expose their back and stand right up like a wrestler would because they're both so confident in their grappling ability on the ground. So it made it really interesting because you knew that was going to open up the striking. Felder and Bisping, which also we didn't even talk about. Fuck Joe Martinez, always a note. Bisping, Felder, Fitzgerald. That's a good combo. I like those three together.
They're work.
Like that, we talked about how that's the formula. Like those three can do it together.
Felder is well. I think the key there is Felder. Felder can work with anybody, man. Like
we didn't even talk about big note. Did you see the Diego Sanchez shit that unfolded and that they referenced in this broadcast?
No, I saw it. Like, I just haven't clicked any of, like, the articles. I haven't. I know. Fill me in, bro. Fill the listeners in.
Okay. So, Diego Sanchez's coach is, I don't even know his name, but he's the crazy dude that's, like, his, like, spirit coach or whatever the fuck it is. And they do, like, that weird training shit where, like, they're on some weird shit, bro. Okay. Like, they don't do shit that's conducive to fighting. They do shit that's conducive to building your spirit. Well, that's not technical skills.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, point being, they're in the fighter meetings, right? Like, where you interview the fighter and their coach, and you get to ask them questions, and it's like Anik, it's Megan Levy, it's Felder, it's the production team. It's like 10 people from the UFC, but all the commentators and the broadcast team, they all get to be in there for the fighter meeting, right? Because they're the people that ask the fighters the questions. So that it helps them with their commentating of the fight. Makes sense, right? So they have their time with Diego Sanchez. This was about a month ago, I think. And Diego Sanchez got released from the UFC 2 days ago.
Yeah.
As well. And that's why he's the one that put this video out.
Yeah.
And it was the dumbest thing he could have done.
Okay.
So his coach steps up as they conclude the fighter meeting with Diego, and he says, hey, I just want to let it be known, like, let's cut the bullshit. Like, let's not talk any shit about Diego or me or what we do, because we need to have some respect for this man and his career. And is like, goes off on this like rant, bro, about how he's like, you guys don't ask me any questions about what we do in training. You just hear from other sources and then talk about what we do and act like what we do is bullshit. And he was like, look, there's a shit end of the stick and I'm getting it. He was like, you guys might have the other end, but I got the shitty end, and it sucks. He was like, it fucking sucks for my career, my reputation, and like is going off. And then Megan Levy responds and like starts telling him like, no. Like, we're here to talk to Diego. Like, you're his coach, and like, if he wants to talk about what you guys do, that's his prerogative. But like, you're kind of just here to make sure that like he's not saying stuff that's like giving away the game plan or stuff that's intricate like that, like essentially. Or if we want to ask you questions, we will
like, this isn't
questions,
about you. Like stay in your lane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so then he starts to respond, and he's like, oh, I'm not trying to. She called it a lecture. Or Paul Felder goes, hey man, I didn't sign up for this lecture class. And then the dude goes, I'm not trying to lecture you. I'm just trying to like ask you questions. Like, do you think it's fair that like you paint us in this light, and like starts like going off again. And then he goes, I mean, you guys are supposed to be the big tough guys, like, why don't you stand up for this guy and his reputation? And then Felder just cuts in and immediately goes, hey, look, man, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but that ain't me. I didn't say shit about that. And he turns to Diego and he goes, Diego, I love you. I'd never talk shit. I never have on a broadcast. And he goes, in fact, I haven't called one of your fights yet in the last year. And he goes, so he looks back at the coach and goes, so I don't know exactly what the fuck you're talking about.
Damn. So Felder like just owned him pretty much. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. It was great. And the video is only being filmed because the coach gave his phone to fucking Stephan Bonner, who was one of the people in the room on the production team, and said, hey, record this. So he asked for it all to be recorded. Like, the coach smoked himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then
and then they released Diego Sanchez.
You think as like a result of all that? I mean, it had to be
100%.
Yeah, Dana just saying, I'm not dealing with this,
dude.
right? Like,
it's not worth it, dude. Yeah. Like, what does Diego bring to the company as far as revenue? Fuck that coach piping off to all those people. Those are like real UFC. Like,
yeah.
Bisping was in the room. Anik was in the room. Megan Levy, Lorisenko, fucking Felder. Don't pipe off of those people.
Wow.
Respect them. Yeah. Like, they deserve some respect.
Yeah, for sure. 100%, man. 100%. Man, I'm not going to lie. How did we get there? Where?
So the whole point, the whole point was that we were talking about coaches, because the broadcast team, we started talking about the broadcast team because they were doing a great job calling this fight. But what I noted was that in this fight, they started talking about coaches and they were making jokes about that video being released. And then Felder at one point goes, "I couldn't know what you're talking about, Bisping."
Okay, I was a little out of the loop on all that. I was a little out of the loop. So thanks for filling me in. Thanks for filling the listeners in. So yeah, I think we were on round 2 of the Divishville Stamen fight, right?
Yeah, so we had both just agreed that Divishville won the first round 10-9, and then hadn't broken into the second round yet.
Yeah, and then round 2, man, I thought it was another very, very close round. Another round where they pretty much kept it on the feet. And I thought, since they get I thought Divishville kind of he had the numbers in total strikes, but I also thought it showed through the screen. I thought he just edged him out, but it was a banger. They were trading. And they kept it standing in round 2. I thought Divishville came out. I had 10-9 Divishville.
Did you feel like Divishville just had better pace, space, and activity? He just really I mean, I know his pace is better. That's undeniable.
Yeah.
But I felt like he controlled the distance at which they fought a little better because it benefited his style of wrestling and fighting.
Yeah, I thought.
And then I thought he actually was a little more active too.
Yeah, and not, I don't know. I wasn't super impressed with Stamen's defense.
I'm not even knocking Stamen. Yeah, 100% with that.
I guess I kind of am. I'm not trying to be too harsh with it though, but just there's certain things. Like I said, the right hand just all night was just landing consistently. He just was unable to kind of adjust on the fly. You know what I mean? To what.
And I think that altered his output because he was getting struck so much. You know what I mean? I think Divishville's offense kind of created this slight side of defense.
Yeah. Good point. So did you see it the same way? You had it 2018 going into 3?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, awesome.
100%.
And then, all right, so then round 3, I actually thought it was Stamen's best round. I gave it 10-9 Stamen. I thought he did a little bit better in the scrambles. Yeah. I thought he looked
Me too.
Really good
I scored at the exact same. Yeah. Close round though, right?
Close round. Oh yeah, this a close fight in general. Like I said, I probably ain't giving Stamen his credit. It's not like he was out there just getting worked. He was fighting. It was a very close fight.
Yeah,
he definitely had his moments. He looked good.
I think these odds were damn near right on line.
Yeah, honestly. And but yeah, Stamen he scrambled really well in 3. And it was just the classic example of too little, too late. You know what I mean? It's in a hypothetical, if this was a 5-rounder, who knows how those next 2 look? Because he looked like he was starting to, fight better, and Divishville was slowing down a little bit. But it wasn't. It was a 3-rounder, and he won 1 of 3. And I think the judges saw it the exact same way we did. Now, Divishville is on a 6-fight win streak now.
One judge did give the last round to Divishville as well, so he did get 130-27. But like we said,
it was close.
Pretty much a close round.
And it was too little, too late. It wasn't going to make a difference. Yeah, I'm not going to split that hair for sure. Yeah.
Right. So but like you were saying, 6-fight win streak.
6-fight win streak, yeah. And in that division, and he's starting to knock
only other person's Aljamain right now.
Wow. Right. And he
as far as a 6-fight.
Yeah, and he's in here actually. I have my laptop pulled up, and I'm not being a caveman for once. Let me pull up the bantamweight rankings.
Nice. While you do that, actually, big announcement. I got finally email from the company that's building my computer for me. It's finally in its quality control and software installation, so it gets mailed to me in the next week.
Dope.
So yeah,
you did it legit.
So I had to wait 6 weeks for them to find this graphics card because there's not enough made in the world to supply the demand for them. It's a 3070. The highest they make is 3080.
Damn.
So
I'm gonna make the I'm impressed. Look, I don't know what any of that means.
Just know the whole build's like a $2,600 PC build.
That's sick.
So
that's sick.
But the point of that is once I get that, I'll switch over to be on my computer when I broadcast, so then we can look up anything we want live. We'll both have computer access at that point. It'll be nice to the podcast.
Oh, dope. Hell yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
That's coming this summer to the Beefy Boys. Just want to let the fans know.
I think maybe a little editing, little tricks or something maybe it can help us out with too. But yeah, for sure. And I'm trying my best to get caught up on clips, everybody. But I got the bantamweight rankings pulled up right here. All right, so Divishville was 12 before last night, and then so on 11 we got Jimmy Rivera. At 10 we got a Sun Sal. 9 Dominic Cruz. 8 Pedro Munoz. 7 Frankie Edgar. 6 Reyes. There's a lot of old heads
It's a lot of fun matchups for Divishville too, because he's such a different style from most of those guys you just named.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm honestly not mad at any of those matchups. It kind of
I wasn't. Yeah,
it just depends who the UFC kind of wants to get use as the
what the move is. You know what the move
What
is.
is it? What is it? Go ahead.
It's in Frankie Edgar's career with
was
the guy that's
gonna
on a huge win
say.
streak that's young.
Oh, I was gonna say, but that's so
I
brutal.
hate it, but like,
especially after what
but
just
like,
happened.
but Dana said last year, like, we're cutting late term contracts. If you're an old dude,
Yep.
don't expect to be kept around for loyalty.
Jose Aldo's at 5.
It's too big.
Too rich for your blood. I feel you.
Well, it's not too. It's just like I don't think Divishville, like, I think he could pass like a Reyes or an Edgar or an Asuncao first. Because Stamen, I think, is one level right behind those guys. Yeah. Bantamweight's this weird stacking of levels, man.
Yeah, and it's the classic example of you got these old heads in the top 10, and then like 15 through 25 is just young, just sharks nipping at their heels. Just
Well, yeah, and you talk about the top like Aljo, Jan, fucking Dillashaw, and Sandhagen, and then Garbrandt. Yep. It's like, well, shit.
Yeah, no, everything after them and before the young Lions is like a weird blend of vets.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So like cracking that top actual 5, so champion, and then 1 through 4 of 135, that's like elite level. Like your skill set, your weight cutting, everything is elite. Yeah, because that division is so elite.
So elite, for sure, man. We love our bantamweights. So yeah, man. Exciting things coming for Divishville. And what I thought last night, I think before last night, he had a reputation as a wrestler. He definitely showed the hands last night, which should
good hands.
Should get fans more excited to watch him fight, which should help this build. It was a good night for Divishville on a lot of fronts. But yeah, we'll keep it pushing because, man, Next is one of our favorite dudes. We were tweeting at him.
Hell yeah.
Sean Strickland, and he was coming in at 15th ranked middleweight, at -280 favorite, fighting Christoph Jotko and plus 230. And like, man, every time they said Jotko, I just like was picturing like Jocko, like the Navy SEAL podcast.
Jocko Willing?
Yeah.
I
just like literally
gotta earn that sunrise, baby.
Like like on Waterboy, he would look at somebody like their face would like change into something else. It was like turning into Jocko.
Just that angry fucking gorilla.
Like the hairline, just like that Jocko.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of hairlines, we'll get to it, but Prochazka, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we will.
So you know what I didn't realize coming into this fight? That Strickland is Vettori's training partner.
Wow.
I didn't realize, yeah. And apparently when they sparred, because they were talking about this in the fighter interviews, shout out to the fighter interviews, fuck Diego Sanchez's coach. Not to beat a dead horse, but they were saying that Strickland was saying when they asked him about sparring, he was like, oh, yeah, and when me and Vettori spar, like, we go to war. Like, it's not like we're, like, just out there, like, trying to touch each other. Like, he was like, we draw blood and people have to separate us when they realize that we're going too hard. And I was like,
I would love to be
oh,
fly
shit.
on the wall when it's you.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Because especially the way that both those guys fight. Like, Vettori fights like a bully. Strickland fights like he's the man. Yeah. Like, he literally stalks forward, like, hands, like, right center chest.
And man, this isn't even like an in the moment take because it's been building since the last time we watched him fight, and maybe even the time before that. No, before that it was a long layoff. But he's one of my favorite guys to watch. Now, I'm not saying he's one of the best, which I think he could be, but just as far
but
as
his personality is great too, right? Like outside the fight, he builds it really well too.
He does, but I'm just even just purely in the octagon. Like I could watch that guy throw just lefts and rights just down the pipe all day.
Throws them clean too, clean and straight, clean and
straight, bro. It's just like I don't know. It just agrees with my eyes. Like just watching him like strike. It's just I love his style. Like. It's almost like, I don't know, everybody that follows me on Instagram knows I've been skating a lot lately, and, like, I talk about it all the time where, like, 2 different people could do a kickflip, and it's going to look different. Like
Nigel Houston. Yeah. It's cleaner than everyone else.
Yeah, and there's just certain, and then, like, and even the guys that's not necessarily, one guy may not do it clean, but he does it stylish or swaggy or
True,
or
good point.
Or big, or some people do it sloppy, but it's cool because they hang on to it. And it's like, and it reminds me so much of fighting that way because, like I said, Strickland does nothing really extravagant. It's not spinning wheel kicks. It's not spinning elbows. It's literally lefts and rights down the pipe.
But there's just no fat in his game. You know what I mean? There's no fat. It's all clean cut.
It's like watching like LaMarcus Aldridge hit like an elbow fadeaway. It's like it's not that it's just the way he just does it so clean. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Or Durant when he shoots a mid range, it's like it's just so silky. Like it's just like, oh yeah, that's in. Like you see him go up and you're like, oh, he made it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to see him release it.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, I know I've just stroked off Strickland, but I think he just finished, so I think we can keep it pushing. But man, I'm a big Strickland guy. What can I say? It's well documented.
Well, man, he's fun inside the cage and outside.
Yeah.
Like when he fought Jack Marshman and he was just yelling at him like, Jesus, Jack, like why won't you go down? And was just like cracking him. Like that was already a fan then. And like his story about, being in the motorcycle accident, 2 years out, rehab, like coming back this strong, like being just a fucking Terminator in the octagon, training partners with Marvin Vettori, who's now getting a title shot, which we should get into at the end of this.
And we talked about how that bottom end of the middleweight needed some juice, and I mean he's providing
needs
all
life, and he's 15, like he is coming with all the smoke.
I'll get the middleweight rankings pulled up right here. I got them, but anyway, let's get into the actual fight because it's just cool because. Well, certain guys have a style that, like, when you think of in their head, like, the easiest guy to do this with is, like, if you close your eyes and think of a Francis Ngannou fight in your head, we're pretty much all going to think of Overeem or a big power shot putting somebody's lights out, right? And
I just flashed to, like, him just throwing huge shots and connecting.
Exactly.
Like that, anyone you want to name, but huge shot, connection, done.
And so whenever he does that, it's so satisfying, right? Because it's like, that's exactly how I remembered it, and that's exactly how I thought it would go down. And that's how I felt when I was watching Strickland in round one. Like, I was like, this is the exact Sean Strickland that I remembered from last time. I was like,
just like a soldier in the octagon.
I was like, this looks exactly how I pictured it looking. Like seriously. But
he does not disappoint, man.
Just crispy striking. And Jocko, as I think, was coming off of like a long layoff himself, I believe, right? Like he had like multiple injuries, I believe. So, but I mean, if anybody,
but he's an accomplished fighter too. Like nothing to take away from him there.
Oh no, and I was about to say, if anybody can appreciate that, it's Sean Strickland. So, like I said, and Sean Strickland just one fight coming off of his injury. So, like I said, I think that was a good matchup even on that front. And then I mean. From a round-by-round standpoint, it was pretty much all Strickland. Low kicks, hands down the middle, just classic Sean Strickland, like just crisp, straight striking. That's just what it is. It's not flashy. It's not loopy.
It's not flashy.
It's
technical,
it's so
and it's
technical
clean.
and clean, like the cleanest. Like
there's no fat on it.
But you know what else is cool? It's not clean. When I say, I think people are like, we're not making it sound violent enough. I feel like nicely done. Like it's very like it has bad intentions. Like it's not like he's point fighting or just touching up or just.
Oh no, he wants to end the fight with every shot he throws. But like we were talking about earlier, like sitting down your punches, like throwing to the back of the head rather than like just trying to touch the face. Like he's trying to punch through you.
Yeah, but he combines that with the precision, and it's just so nice.
And the timing and the movement.
Nice. It's so nice.
And his head movement's great. Like his defensive head movement.
Yeah.
Last night, like when he stalks in, like he literally will like bob and weave and then come up with like combos. Like he's sick to watch.
Boxer-like, for sure. Yeah. Now, I think the next evolution, and maybe he does it in the gym, maybe he just hasn't need to bust it out of the tool bag yet. Like, I would like to see some, like, more high kicks from him. Could you imagine if he started incorporating
I would like to see a lot more kicks.
Yeah, just he does some low kicks, but it's mainly
good calf kicks.
Yeah, and I'll still be interested to see if he says he does good with Vettori, because Vettori's such a good wrestler. And like I would say, I would love to see him against a wrestler, but apparently if he's training with Vettori every day, he should check that box, I imagine, right? Like, I mean,
I imagine so, yeah. And he lives and trains in Vegas, so fighting the Apex is literally fighting at home for him.
Yeah, man.
So that's super beneficial.
All right, so let's go 11 through 15, or I guess 10 through 14, and see what you like next for Strickland. So at 14, we got Brad Tavares. 13, Holland, but we all think he might be going down to 70. He called out Cowboy Cerrone. 12, we got Akhmedov. And 11, we got Weidman, which we all know that's pretty much off the table. So that means we can jump.
Oh, hey. So why don't we just make Strickland 14? What are we talking about? Weidman's done for like 9 months. Bro. Yeah. Like, let's just make everyone up.
No, exactly, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And then I guess that would put, and then Shabazian's 10. I guess that would make it at 9.
Give him Shabazian. Let him beat the fuck out of that kid.
I want to say Shabazian's scheduled against Hermanson.
Yeah, you're right.
So maybe give him the loser of that? Give Strickland the loser of that fight, maybe?
Depends on how Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Well,
because I mean, if Hermanson loses that, isn't that 2 L's in a row for Hermanson or no?
yeah, but what's Hermanson ranked? 8, 7?
Hermanson's ranked 7, but yeah, I mean, if he loses,
Yeah, I mean,
if he
if you
loses
lose to 10 and you're 7, you probably fall to 12, and then
or
yeah,
we
you're
could
right, you're
we
right.
could just give Strickland Akhmedov and just keep up with the slow build. You think that's a rough matchup?
Omari Akhmedov is a monster.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a banger. I mean, it's not like Strickland would be like
I mean, a
scared
banger
of
for
him.
sure.
Yeah,
Strickland's scared of no man,
yeah.
but like I want to see Strickland climb the ranks, bro. Like I don't want to. I mean, fuck it. Honestly, actually, he's that dude. Like, give him the test. Like he wants
Well,
the
that's what I'm
test. He's
saying.
not.
You can't keep giving him tuna cans, which I mean, I'm not saying it's too.
Well, Yucca wasn't a
No, I
tuna can
know,
per se.
I know. You're right. I mean, but he was a
And
minus.
he's beaten Brendan Allen. He's beaten Brendan Allen as well.
You're right. Also, definitely not a tuna can. But I'm saying he was a minus 280 favorite going into last night.
Let's see him be a dog. Let's see him be a dog.
I mean, or you could just do the super slow build and just give him like Brad Tavares. You know what I'm saying? Just the one rank above him.
Nah.
I
It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be fun
dog.
because it's just the matchup would be fun.
Can't have your cake and eat it too now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if I don't have it, I couldn't eat it. So if I have it, I have to eat it.
Man. Yeah, but middleweight's super weird right now because said Holland's at 13. I think he's out of the division. Weidman's injury. I said Shabazian's booked. Gastelum, they still have him ranked at 9 on here, but he just got like.
Well, it updates Tuesday.
Okay, good point. But I'm saying he hasn't fought. Like it's updated. He was at 8 before he lost to Whitaker. So I mean, he dropped the spot.
Oh.
Hall.
Oh yeah, but that makes sense.
Yeah, Hall's at 8. Hermanson 7 till 6. Yeah, then you get to that upper echelon. But
yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I'm a Strickland guy. I love watching the fight. I'm really looking forward to him climb these rankings. And like I said, if the gym rumors are true and he's competitive with Vettori, like that's what I'm saying. If that's true, if I'm gonna put stock into that, which I don't really know why I should, but if it's true and he legitimately has quote unquote close wars with Vettori, then we should have no reason that any of these guys should, be, too much for him. If that's true, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about something. So Strickland wins the fight. Unanimous decision, 30-27 on 2 cards, 29-28 on 1 card.
Yeah, fuck that
card. Fuck that judge that scored 29-28. It was clearly 30-27. But now here's what I wanted to get into, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, just before we get into these last 3 fights. Let's talk about the middleweight division because Vettori got the title shot against Izzy because Izzy wanted to fight in June or July.
Yes.
June, right.
Yep.
And that's not enough time for Whitaker to be able to return home, quarantine with Australia and New Zealand's crazy rules.
Yeah.
So I feel like he essentially got timed out, phased out by time.
Yeah, it sucks.
Which sucks.
I didn't like that. I didn't like how it went down.
But it kind of builds the longevity of it too, bro. Because think about this. Whitaker was already saying, I want to get a stadium in September whenever the Pacific, what is the fuck those called? I don't even know. The Isles, Wales and all those places, whenever they all reopen, post-summer is what they're saying they're going to do if it all stays good. It should, vaccines. Let's shout out. But point being, he wanted to fight in a soccer stadium and sell it out. Makes sense. Can't do it right now. Have to wait. Izzy wants to fight. Vettori wants to fight. Let him do it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Okay. I mean, I like that. I just was so. I don't know, man.
Now Whitaker deserves it.
Yeah.
Right. Like no matter who wins the belt when Izzy and Vettori fight, Whitaker fights the winner.
And
it's not a rematch type of situation.
I like how Dana and the UFC went about it because they're like, oh well, we offered Whitaker, but it's like an offer that he couldn't say yes to. So it's like
that's like a trapdoor offer.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like
you
that.
backed me into a corner. No, fuck that.
It's kind of weaselly. That's not a true offer. Now if they would have offered him September and he would have turned it down, or they say, hey, meet me halfway and we'll do late July, early August, or you know what I'm saying? But. Yeah, they weren't willing to work with them, so I don't think it was a true offer. I didn't like how they were like, "Oh, well, we tried," but they kind of covered.
But here's
their
what
own
I'm
ass.
saying. Here's what I'm saying is, they did it strategically.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
I think they might have told Izzy, "We want you to fight him in June," and Izzy was like, "Yeah, I'm down to do that." And they told and then they went to Whitaker and said, "Izzy wants to fight you in June," and flipped the table on him because they make way more money if they can sell out a 70,000 person rugby stadium in September, if they can push the fight.
Yeah.
And if Izzy can rematch Vettori, they have a split decision between them where Izzy is the winner via split way earlier in his career. Vettori says he's only gotten better. Izzy said he's only gotten better. You can sell that fight any day of the week because it's a sick rematch, right? And Vettori's in the spot to earn it now.
Yeah.
Like, he has essentially earned it. So I think the long play money-wise for the UFC was to do it this way.
And I got to say, matchup-wise,
Vettori's fun against Izzy.
Well, and it's like, if there was one middleweight that was like probably you had to compare closest to Jan Blachowicz, it might be Vettori.
It might be. Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
I'm just talking from like
because he can at least get takedowns. Because he can at least get takedowns when he needs them.
He's thick as fuck. And
he's thick.
Like a blueprint.
I was going to say Paulo Costa, but he can get takedowns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He doesn't fight like him size-wise, but he doesn't fight like him. And I don't think he can implement.
Vettori's pretty similar to Whitaker, too.
Yeah.
Not as good of a striker,
yeah.
but has like that same activity and brawler mentality.
True. So, but I'm saying like
which will make for a good fight.
From a blueprint of like how Jan beat. Now Jan largely beat Izzy just from being bigger, but Vettori's going to be bigger, I think, and stronger. Like,
well, I don't know though, because Izzy weighed in against Jan at 201, and that was him cutting no weight at all, right?
Yep, and
so I'd imagine Izzy probably gets to about 197, 196 after his replenishing, maybe even 200, if his body's really holding on to shit. You know, if he is cutting like it should be. So Vettori might walk in the octagon at 210 and Izzy's 201. I don't think that's too big of a difference.
No, it's definitely.
Now Jan, on the other hand, that motherfucker probably walking at 230.
Yeah. That's a different ball game for sure. So, yeah, I'm interested. Middleweight, the top end is super fun. You know, thanks to some of these young guys, you know, the bottom end is starting to be more fun. And in the middle is actually, at least all I can say about the middle is that they're actually being active, and that's kind of working itself out. Cannonier, haven't heard a goddamn word about Cannonier. I guess they got to match up Cannonier and Brunson, I guess, right? Or
you got to get Brunson someone at the – what's Brunson, 5?
Yeah, and Cannonier's 4.
Cannonier's off a loss to
Whitaker, I think.
Yeah, Cannonier Brunson feels like the move because you're going to find out who needs to fall back. And for Brunson, he's trying to change his game. He's talking a whole bunch of shit. He seems like he's reinvigorated, rejuvenated. I think that's the fight. Yeah, I think that's the fight.
All right, man. Let's get back to this card, man. We got Dustin Jacoby plus 105 versus Iron Cutelaba at minus 125. And I don't know if you saw, they got into it at weigh-ins, which with the recent occurrences of guys getting into weigh-ins and getting hurt, that, you know, it was pretty scary. And I thought it was pretty funny because Dana White was throwing, who was it, Sean Shelby under the bus for letting that happen. And then it happened on Dana White's watch. So there was some funny.
You know what's funny about Dana White saying that bullshit? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there at the end, but you know what's funny about Dana White saying that is DC and Ariel had that exact conversation a week ago on their show, and they were saying, like, when it's Sean Shelby, dudes are more likely to pop off at each other than when it is Dana White, and then this happens, and it's like, well, maybe they're just fighters.
Well, these are light heavyweights, too, so, I mean, these are some
big dudes.
Yeah, big dudes. Yeah, good luck keeping them apart. They
don't want especially Sean Shelby, 150, maybe.
So, no, I gotta say, was it Cutelaba or Jacoby that grabbed the head? I forgot on the pre-fight.
Cutelaba.
Cutelaba popped it up. Okay, so yeah, he fought like the aggressor. He fought like the
but he always does that shit in weigh-ins, dude. Like, they'll get face to face and they'll like act like they're normal, and then he'll just like flinch like a punch up at their face and like stop and like expect them not to do shit. It's like he always does that shit. I don't know why.
It's psychological warfare. I mean, I know why, and I mean it seems like it kind of worked because they fought like he was the alpha last night. Like he had that mental edge of like punk.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like that's what it looked like. So maybe that's why he does it. But yeah, man, Cutelaba looked fantastic. I mean, Vegas had this as like essentially a pick'em, like a razor thin pick'em. And
yeah, minus 125 plus 105, pretty much.
Made it seem like it should have been, minus 270. Like Cutelaba came out
in the first round.
And I don't know. All right. So in the first round, I had it possible 10-8. He had multiple takedowns.
I scored at 10-8 to Cutelaba. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Cutelaba was dominant in round 1. And then
I thought he was tagging him up, controlled like the space, the pace, all the shit.
Checked all the boxes. Exactly. Like the dominant first round. And then in round 2, it was much, much closer. Much closer. But I still had Cutelaba winning round 2. He was
really?
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was landing more and just, striking better.
I'd love to see the strike numbers on it because I actually scored the second one to Jacoby because I thought he was actually starting to land some clean shots countering Kudalaba that Kudalaba was like walking into, so they were damaging him more.
Both are true. It was the total kind of quality versus quantity. I think Kudalaba. I did go to the numbers to help me decide, and Kudalaba definitely had the numbers in round 2. But like as you said,
Jacoby was just landing those harder shots because he was counter striking.
Yeah, he was counter striking, and by the nature of counter striking, Kudalaba was moving forward and Jacoby was moving backwards. So
Kudalaba does not stop moving forward.
Yeah, for sure, he was a monster. So you had it tied up going into because of the 10-8. You still had
Kudalaba.
So I had Kudalaba up.
You had him up
quite a bit,
big time. 2017.
2017, going into the third.
Oh shit! So are you rolling up the hill here?
Yeah. I was really salty about this. I literally have disagree roll out hill.
Wow. Okay. So how'd you score the third?
The third I did score to Jacoby. I did, but I scored a 10-9 Jacoby.
Me too.
Which makes very easy math even for me. You know what I'm saying?
So you had it 29-27 for Kudalaba.
Yes.
I had it 28-28 draw.
You had it 28-28 draw because you gave Jacoby 2 and 3?
Yes, and I gave Kudalaba 10-8 in the first.
Wow. That's fun. I gotta say. Well, actually, you know what? I retracted my hill roll.
I was gonna say you can't hill this. You can't hill this because every judge saw it differently.
Yeah, and
every judge saw it differently.
And it ended in a draw, so there's not really a hill to die on.
It's so rare, bro. One judge had it 29-28 Kudalaba, one judge had it 29-28 Jacoby, and one judge had it 28-28. So rare.
This is another one though. All right, give me this though, bro. Give me this. If you're scoring it like one whole,
Jacoby wins.
Jacoby wins. I thought.
Oh wait.
I think if you scored it as a whole, Kudalaba.
Wait, let me think about it.
Like I said, Kudalaba.
No, I still think that. Yeah, bro. But did you see how beat up he was at the end of the fight? Like those counter shots were wearing heavy on him, bro.
Yeah, well, and if you can make the argument too that if like 2 extra minutes gets put on the clock, then Jacoby definitely wins it because he was definitely fresher at the end.
But like, I just thought he was like cracking him in the third round. Jacoby was.
But isn't this funny though? Like this is the perfect. We're kind of proving that the split draw was the correct. Because if we're disagreeing and they all disagreed,
no, they should definitely run it back because the way the fight occurred was wild as shit too. Because Kudalaba always does this. He always runs out and presses an insane pace. Remember the fight where he acted like he was hurt from the first shot he took, and the ref stepped in early, and then I think it was Omar Akhmedov, and then the ref stepped in early, and then they had to run it back, and then he got his ass whipped in the second fight. But he's always aggressive like that. Yeah, his whole strategy is try and take him out early and win the fight early. So I think if they fight again, that feeds into Jacoby, right?
If he can survive the opening barrage, for sure, yeah. And I just also like, I guess maybe I'm being weirdly specific. Like, I think when Kudalaba was being dominant, he was being more dominant than Jacoby was. Like,
I think that's fair, but that's also posturing from the position, like how the movement occurred too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it was a great fight though. I mean, to have this much like disagreement between us and the judges, I mean, it really tells you all that you needed to know, about how close this fight actually was. So yeah, great point. It was a good fight. I had this one circled even before the weigh-ins, and then after the weigh-ins, I had to double circle it. So I think it delivered.
So real fast before we get to these last two, we technically didn't have a finish in any of these fights yet. The DQ ended the fight early, but all the rest were decisions at this point.
And still not boring, which
still a good card. Yeah. That's my point. Thank you. I'm glad you said that.
Takes can fuck all the way off and go to Casualville, USA.
Bro, I'm so happy you finished the sentence. That was perfect. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. All decisions, still good.
Still good. Like you can't paint it that black and white. And hell, I mean, like I said, if there was a whole people act like they want first round finishes. But if there was a whole card of nothing but first-round finishes, that would be an ass card. Ass.
Yeah, you'd be salty. That
would be whack.
You'd watch 80,000 minutes of commercials.
Yeah, no, exactly. So people make this argument about like the NBA all the time. Is like people think they want parity in the NBA, but the ratings are at their highest during super teams. So it's like people like kind of talk out of both sides of their neck or try to have their cake.
But like in the NFL, I do love parity in the NFL because every season I expect different teams to resurface.
I'll say this. You like parity in the regular season and maybe even a few playoff upsets, but you want the big dogs playing in the Super Bowl. Or both, maybe not you specifically. I feel like the average American football fan. I feel like we want to see Pat Mahomes.
I disagree. Think about when the Ravens were the 6th seed with Flacco. Think about when the Giants were the 6th seed and they overturned the few Pats undefeated season.
I don't think America was happy because they beat the Pats, but I don't think they were that stoked on the actual Giants. Now it's kind of
America was happy because the Chiefs didn't repeat.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of more casual football fans that are just high on the Pat Mahomes hype.
I don't cheer for Brady, but I don't cheer for repeats. More so. Maybe that's. But
you're a Raiders fan. We can't take your opinion on the Chiefs. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I was hiding. I was hiding.
Fucking double agent over here. But all right, man. Let's get to this co-main and this main, man.
Because
they're
both
our
super
guys.
fun.
These are our guys. These are Beefy Boys, OG fighters. We've been pumping this hype train since the inception of the podcast, basically.
1,000%.
Yeah, so like I said, Giga Chikadze, who, like I said, I have been pounding the drum for. I'm a big fan. After his last fight, I was like, swear to God, if he's not at least a co-main, and then sure enough, his next fight, he's a co-main. So I'm super happy that he kind of got that level up in his career. And he's fighting Cub Swanson. Totally got a big name, too. It wasn't just a co-main against anybody. Like, a co-main against Cub Swanson, I'm here for it. And also, as much as I love Giga Chikadze, Cub Swanson, you got to respect him. It wasn't just, a given, in my opinion, that Chikadze was going to win. I mean, I definitely thought he was going to win.
Oh, no. Cub Swanson, the Vegas odds reflect that, I think.
Yeah, minus 175 and plus 150. Chikadze is a favorite, exactly like I just described. But you got to honor Cub Swanson's ability to win a fight, specifically if he goes to the ground or if he can get him in a submission.
And I'm sure rankings McGee and you, 15 versus 14. You got to love that.
I did love
145 featherweight.
But I got to say, I love the matchup and the card placement more than I love the actual rankings itself.
So you're in your CLP game right now.
Yeah, but it was kind of best of all worlds, right? It was kind of all three boxes were checked. So, I mean, there's really nothing better as far as the matchup goes. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think one's model throws card placement out the window because they have different styles of fights that occur?
And they do weird shit with the card placement. I don't know. And the cards.
Do you like that or not?
The cards are so short too.
True. So yeah, they're 3 hours in total rather than 6.
It's so different. It's just so different. But with I don't know. It's different. It's different. I like it. I love it. You know what? I also watched my first PFL card. Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah.
I love that the whole scoring system and the implications and the 6 points for a first round finish and. The only thing I don't like is the no grounded elbows, but I even kind of understand where they come from because they come from a more numbers-based approach, and the grounded elbows would skew the weight of those numbers so drastically.
Do you wish there was open scoring?
Well, I don't know.
Meaning,
scoring, but I like how PFL has the strike numbers on the screen. For the whole fight, I think that's cool.
So you don't like open scoring though?
I don't mind it. I'm cool with it. That's right.
Because here's how I look at it, man. Is let's say we're playing football, right? We're down 20-10 at half. We at least know that we're down.
You got to pass.
And we got to fucking make up.
Yeah,
we got to stylistically change our game and get some shit done.
Yeah.
So I feel like. For fighters, when it's a super close round, if they came on right before the round and they announced so-and-so scores it 10-9, so-and-so scores it 10-9, so-and-so scores it 10-9, boom, boom, boom. And then boom, ding, ding, ding.
But you know what also would happen, though? There would be guys that, instead of, focusing on their game plan, they would be, arguing, it would take certain guys out of their head. Oh, fuck, no, I didn't lose that round. I don't know. I think you would get some of that, too. Maybe
it'd be interesting. It'd be super interesting.
Certain guys would handle it better than others. That's for damn sure.
I just wanted to ask that before we dove into this because it's not a big breakdown we got here. So I just thought,
it's really not, man. But it's cool because it's not. it's not that often when a UFC fighter gets almost like a Mortal Kombat special move, like a signature move that they can like
the Giga kick.
The Giga kick. It has a name, and like it's ended. I mean, like his last
Multiple
4
fights.
fights. I mean, yeah, it's fight ending, but it's a knockout punch without being a knockout punch. It's a body
long
kick.
Distance knockout punch.
Yeah, it's a body kick, a liver kick more specifically, which you can kind of get off whenever you want to. Like if you're like a power puncher like Ngannou, or I mean that's like the most ultimate extreme example. There's other power punchers besides Ngannou, but like if you're a power puncher, you have to do a lot to be able to land that power punch. You have to feint, you have to get in range, you have to, prevent the takedowns and all the shit you have to do just to get inside and land that big shot. But if you have the ability to end the fight with a body kick, like there's not as much setup.
It's a big weapon. Big weapon.
You can fire it off, like, from
distance.
You're safer.
Very safe.
Yeah.
Very safe throwing it, because the only thing you're getting hit with is big like crosses that they time on your kick. But he's so fast, like he throws it so fast that he's not going to get counted on it very hard, and he can throw it from lead or switch.
Now you're the wrestler. Do you think a really elite wrestler could time a takedown on that, or like would that be? I mean,
so dangerous because he throws so hard at such like a median level.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like if you catch the knee even on that kick,
that
like diving in for a takedown,
that can turn into a head kick real fast if you change levels.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I was so curious.
So it's super dangerous.
Yeah.
Like how electrifying his kicks are as far as speed and like how fast he throws them with no tail. That's what makes it so dangerous.
Yes.
So I think for what you need to get like on him is like a dude that's just like striking defense through the roof, that just is like really good movement and baits him into this like fight, and then has good grappling. Like a guy with high striking defense, good grappling. That's probably what you need to beat Chikadze.
Yeah, man, because he's proven to be a difficult puzzle to crack. Because like I said, I mean, the first couple fights, but Cub Swanson's certified, man. That's a dub of the highest.
Here's what impressed me too is just like you're saying, Cub Swanson's a vet, bro. Like has been at the top essentially before, right?
He's not a vet that's daubered down. Like he's been looking good lately.
He's been pretty good lately, yeah. And so for Chikadze, like the detail of it, like the setup was so nice, man. He's throwing some nice combinations on the feet, and then he's throwing some head kicks with the left leg, and then he's feinting these big right hooks that he's not throwing, right? So he's kind of trying to raise Swanson's guard on this side, right, from the hooks, and then also bring the other hand up from the kicks,
which is like an inverted strategy from what most people use. Most people try to lower the hands to expose the chin, and he's literally trying to raise the hand to expose the Giga kick. It's from a game plan and like trying to game plan against strategy. Isn't that like if you're doing the opposite of what every other guy this other guy's ever fought is doing, like you're using his good habits and turning them into bad habits.
And your natural instinct is to protect your face whenever these things are coming at you. So like he literally was circling and setting up this body kick the whole time before it even happened. Like everything he was doing was to set up these body kicks that he was going to throw, and he knew he was going to throw them.
Yeah, no, I know, and that's what's so brilliant. It was so masterful.
Like the detail of it was beautiful.
Yeah, because like I said, and it's just so different. It's like it's like a team that passes the ball to open up the run, because the conventional football wisdom is to run the ball to suck up the safeties and hit a deep pass.
It's the Chiefs' offense.
Yeah.
It's the Chiefs' offense.
Yeah.
It's literally what won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah, and like I said, if you're a fighter that's fighting Giga Chikadze, and you're like, your game plan going into it has to be like, oh, my game plan is to expose my chin more, like this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's weird. You have to like keep a low guard, but like a low guard fighter would give him trouble in the same aspect.
I mean, he can get those kicks up to the head, though. He can.
Yeah, but like a guy that's like a Fazeev, I know they're 10 pounds apart, but like Fazeev is so good.
We're big
because
Fazeev guys. He's our next one. When Fazeev is in a co-main, we're going to be tooting our horns.
100%. But his head movement and Muay Thai style, like a Muay Thai fighter, would give Chikadze more trouble than anyone else.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, all these guys seem invincible until they don't, right? Like somebody,
Right.
and you got to have respect to the rest of the division as somebody's probably gonna crack the puzzle. But
and let's not like jump ahead here. If this was Volkanovski, Holloway, Ortega, they would all put the work in on both these guys.
Facts.
And
I
believe that wholeheartedly. Max Holloway would box Chikadze's face off and finish him inside of 8 minutes.
But I mean, most essentially true facts, but also like that Giga kick, like if it lands, like it shuts off anybody. Like it doesn't discriminate. You know what I'm saying? Like if it hits your liver, it doesn't matter if your birth certificate says Max Holloway. Like that liver is a liver. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, Volkanovski might be the guy that would eat the kick, but I think Ortega and Holloway's movement is so good that they would be out of the way of it. Now, granted, like we were talking about, Chikadze is such a slick kickboxer with no, like, tell and a very quick twitch that, like, those kicks come very fast and there's not a lot of time to move or prepare. That's why Cub Swanson couldn't even dip a shoulder or even turn his body away. Like, he ate that foot fully flush right on the liver.
And this was at featherweight, correct?
Yes, yeah, featherweight.
All right. So Giga was 14th ranked going into that fight. He did get a performance of the night bonus, $50K, by the way.
Well, of course, there's only 2 finishes.
Yeah, no, and also, man, whenever you see somebody get finished with one of these liver shots, bro, it's
brutal.
It's so different than a normal knockout, though, because like a normal knockout, like you know, it's over. But the thing about these liver shots is like they're conscious for it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like Cub Swanson was just like getting tagged, but he was just like holding his chest or his body like this shit hurts so bad, like punch my face, I don't give a shit.
It's almost like sleep paralysis or whatever. Like you're aware of what's happening to you, but you can't like react to it.
Or like a legal like nut shot. Yes, essentially. You know what I mean? Like imagine that.
That's a good, very similar. Yeah, I like
that.
It
just shuts your shit down.
All right. So, man, there's some fun potential, man, at the bottom end of this featherweight division, man. So, Giga was 14. We got Monsmar Evelev at 13.
Ooh.
I like that. Edson Barbosa at 12. Bryce Mitchell at 11.
Barbosa would be fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly cool with all that. And
who's 10 and 9?
10 is Sadiq Yusuf, 9 Shane Burgos.
Bro, Burgos Chikadze would be fucking great. Let's line that up ASAP.
It'd be heat. If you're unfamiliar,
I mean, no disrespect to
Burgos is our chin of the year 2020.
Yeah, no disrespect to Shane Burgos, but like, striking defense comes in a couple forms, and chin is one of them.
Yeah, facts.
I guess.
It works until it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, yeah. Until you're not standing, you're standing.
Help your liver, as we've been talking about.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. But yeah,
does his liver have a chin?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the crimson liver. But no, seriously though, like some fun matchups, and then even if you gave him a grappler and Bryce Mitchell, because I mean, Giga's a striker, and every striker eventually the question or the test is going to be given: how's he do against the grappler? If you wanted to do that with Bryce Mitchell, I mean, I don't know. That's not the funnest matchup to make. It's out of those.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, and Bryce Mitchell has like a big kind of brand building, you know, like Chicago. I don't know.
I hate that Sadiq's 10 because I love Sadiq, but Sadiq and Bryce Mitchell will be fun because Sadiq's so explosive and Bryce Mitchell's so like just like grappling and like I can't remember the
top pressure. Like
there's fast twitch and then there's I guess slow twitch.
Yeah.
Is more what he is.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like he's just gonna grind you out throughout 15 minutes.
Yeah, for sure, man. Some fun. Man, the featherweight division is really fun, man. Really fun. I mean, you got Dan Ige at 8, Emmett at 6, Cater at 5, Korean Zombie, Yair, Ortega, Holloway, Volkanovski. That's a fun division. But yeah, man.
Wait, Yair's 4?
Yair's 3 behind the champ. So 3, but 3 plus the champ.
Yair's 3?
Yeah.
Overrated. Clap, overrated. Give him a beat. Let's beat that ass.
Where is the beat in this? He's not ranked right now. I guess he's had too much time off, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But all right.
That's all right.
But yeah.
But hey, here's what I'm saying is Giga called out who's number 5?
5 is Cater.
Yeah, he called out Cater and Holloway.
Both of them. I mean,
That's
lofty.
he said he called out Holloway, and then he said, but honestly, I know that you're probably going to get the winner of Ortega Volk. So like he was like, so in that case, let me prove that I deserve to fight you. Let me fight Calvin Kattar, and I'll beat him better.
Yeah, I mean that sounds good. I don't know if he does. I mean,
I thought it was a whack call out. 14 calling out like the top end, like bro.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
You had a shot.
It's kind of a wasted call out. Like if he would have called out Shane Burgos and Edson Barbosa, and
even up to Emmett, I would have been all right with it.
Yeah,
because that's a different tier. It's a different echelon of guys.
Arnold Allen at 7. Yeah, no, I feel you. Even Dan Ige at 8 would be a heater. Yeah, I feel you. Not a fan of the call out, but like it's one of those
great performance though.
It could age well, right? Like what if he goes on to be a contender? It's like, what if 2 years from now he's sitting where Ortega's sitting or where Korean Zombie's sitting, and it's like he is right up there with those guys, and it wasn't a dumb call out. I could see a potential
But at the time, it might have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in 2 years, his progression is different.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying where he thinks he's that. I see both sides.
It's a double faceted
argument. Every corner in the NFL is like, I'm the best corner in the NFL. It's just like you kind of.
It's like for 3 years you are, and then then you're not.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, and then we can keep it pushing to this main event because I said we big Chikadze guys, but like I said, I feel like we paid Cub Swanson all due respect, and taking on a killer like that, and and Cub
this. I was wet for this next fight.
Yeah.
I'll just say it.
Bro, I'll be real. I was thinking of you essentially all day, bro, because you're the Prochazka guy.
I was just rock hard at work watching it. No sound, just like.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I said, I knew you were gonna be stoked for this. And Harrison, I mean, it's not like I don't like Prochazka, but Harrison put essentially all his eggs in the Prochazka basket. He has been making lofty call outs and predictions, and for Prochazka every time he fights on the breakdown.
And I'm gonna double down on it.
And essentially Harrison's been vindicated for every single Prochazka take he's ever had on this show. Because I mean, the whole world's riding his dick right now this morning, but Harrison was first in line.
Let me just lay it out real fast. Coming into this fight, 27 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, right? 26 wins by finish, 24 KOs, 2 submissions, 1 decision victory. What's more exciting than that?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
At 205?
And he's athletic as fuck. A lot of times these you're
and the most unorthodox motherfucker you've ever seen.
And he's exciting, right? And that's why you can't really judge fighters. I'm sure people, they see a European guy come in, I'll probably assume he's gonna be maybe a wrestler or maybe have a grinding style, but Prochazka straight fireworks and straight athleticism. Straight up. Freak athleticism.
Well, he's Czech Republic, right? And he says that Mirko Krokop was his favorite dude growing up, also a Czech fighter.
See, and I don't know shit about the Czech Republic, bro. I'll be real, we don't get a lot of Czech fighters. He's
I know they have a long history in World War One before they were the Czech Republic. That's where World War One starts.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Take out some notes, boys and girls.
Shout out Lithuania. They're mortal enemies.
Oh, really? Yeah, man. Yeah, those European countries be beefing, man. They do.
Serbia, Croatia, Lithuania, Czech Republic. That's all where World War One starts with the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand.
I got a lot of Croatian in me, man.
Do you?
Yeah, I looked up on my Ancestry.com. Rossetti. It sounds hella Italian, but so. There's these islands.
Shout out to Croatia.
Yeah, there's these islands off the coast of Croatia that are actually really close to Italy. You could probably take a boat.
It's like a Sicilian island.
It's
almost, right?
It's the Dalmatian Islands, with the dog Dalmatian, and that's the oldest records I could find for the Rossetti, where
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, that's so sick.
Yeah. My great grandfather Vincenzo Rossetti. And then
shout out, dog. That's crazy. Croatia has one of the biggest growing wine markets on the planet right now. They say it's in 10 years where the best Pinot Noirs are going to come from.
I want to go there. I want to go to.
Have you ever seen how beautiful it is?
Yeah, those islands specifically.
It's
there's
fucking
some of the,
gorgeous.
My people come from some of the prettiest places in the world. But yeah, man. So back to this fight. Back to the task at hand. And then Dominic.
Yeah, now we'll jump.
We've completely jerked off Prochazka. He's well and finished and has a nice warm towel on his face, relaxing. And Dominic Reyes.
Did you fuck with his his hair?
I did, yeah. I love all that like crazy cultural shit. Like whenever the like Tibetan guys have their crazy hats and the Dagestani hats, and I love it because that's the first time, like that's how I get exposed to that shit. Like I've never been to these remote like Caucasus regions and shit. Like it's these people come from countries that like you don't learn about, but we learn about like the big, famous cultures, but like these remote cultures, like I would have never known they existed or known shit about them if it wasn't for mixed martial arts, which is like I said, I love that about this sport and about the UFC, finding guys from every corner pocket of the fucking globe and bringing them to compete. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
Yeah,
it really
100%.
is awesome. It's great. Because no other league does that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could say maybe the NBA is maybe the second closest, but like.
Yeah, to globalize their league though, UFC is number one.
Yeah.
Number
even
one by
above
far.
all those soccers, because there's like the European clubs, the South American clubs, the Brazil clubs. I think that.
Yeah, but like UFC represents tiny countries, massive countries, and not necessarily proportionate ways.
Oh yeah, like as we alluded to with Georgia, the country has like the same population as Oklahoma. 2 people on this card.
Look at the tiny pocket of West Africa that has 3 of the top 5 pound for pound fighters right now.
Yeah.
Izzy and Kamaru are in the top 3, and then I think Ngannou's number 4, and then John Jones is number 2. Like they literally have 3 out of the top 4 fighters come from a small pocket of West Africa.
Yeah, no, I love
Cameroon, Nigeria.
I love that.
Crazy.
I love that about the UFC for sure, the global nature of it. But Dominic Reyes, like man, guy is. I don't think anybody's shitting on Dominic Reyes.
I just feel bad for him,
I think
bro.
everybody's kind of collectively feeling bad. Like you can feel bad for Reyes and still be happy for Prochazka. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%. Yeah, I just feel like Reyes is tough, but like his skill set, people have finally figured it out.
Yeah, well, and it's like we say, people like the best. Like
I mean, yes,
like, so we're talking about
his
John
last 2
Jones,
losses.
There's people out there think he won that fight, and then who beat him last? I'm brain farting. Yeah, Jan Blachowicz. Yeah, the guy that beat Izzy
for the belt. The last 2 times he's fought before this were for a belt.
Exactly. And now Prochazka, who we're super high on, he seems to be a freak of nature. But
I said he'd be the eventual 205 champion.
Yeah, you've been leading the hype. So it's like it's not like, you know what I'm saying, 15th ranked guys are picking him apart, or like prospects are picking him apart, like,
or even Anthony Smith.
Yeah, man. So it's like I don't know. He's in a weird place. He's 3 L's, but like 3 L's to the best. Like he definitely, in my opinion, deserves benefit of the doubt and a long leash. And
oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he's gonna be out here getting knocked out to like the 8th and 9th ranked guys, which I don't even know who that is. Like let me see. But we'll get into that afterwards. We can get into it. Let's get, because I mean the fight round 1 was as probably like wide margin as like the history books will probably try to like tell it as. Like round 1 was like a decently close round. Yeah, for sure. And like it kind of gets lost due to the explosive nature of how it all ends. But round 1, close competitive round.
So Dominic Reyes was actually the underdog too, plus 105, and Prochazka was the favorite, minus 125.
Yes.
Even though Prochazka's ranked 5 and Reyes is 3.
Yeah, for sure. And I went back and forth with this money line, bro, because I'll be real. The close nature of this money line made me doubt myself. Like I wanted to be balls deep on Prochazka, but then like the money line was so close. I was like, well, fuck. Like, am I going to be that arrogant? Like, I think I know better than Vegas that much. Like it just made me like if it would have been Prochazka, even though it doesn't make sense money wise, I know it's better to get a smaller number, but like, confidence in the pick wise, I was just like, fuck, like, because I felt like just gut instinct, I felt really good about Prochazka. But then at minus 125, I was like, fuck, like, am I like missing something here? Like, am I selling Dom Reyes short? Am I, you know what I mean? I don't know. Does that affect you at all? Do you ever, that happen with a close money line? Do you ever to make you second guess yourself ever?
I'm like, yeah, for sure. But like, what really gets me about this money line specifically is that Prochazka's so hard to bet on. His fight style is just like, it's nuts, bro. He'll just hang his chin out in the air and let power strikers land bombs. Like,
and this is
how long can you do that for?
His most credentialed test, you know. And like I said, I think this
100%.
money line was the definition of paying respect to Reyes and saying that he wasn't just, you know, just a chump. And like, you know, plus 105 is essentially a pick 'em. But yeah, and like I said, I think Reyes fought pretty decent in round 1. Now that being said, like I said, I'm just trying to give Reyes his due because we jerked off Prochazka so much. But I had a 10-9 Prochazka.
I mean, yeah, I had a 10-9 Prochazka as well. I thought he was landing just the bigger shots. Now, granted, Reyes was landing some really nice lefts to start, and then Prochazka started to kind of figure it out. So it worked out, you know what I mean, for Yuri in the end.
Yeah, for sure. And then
10-9.
10-9 for sure. And then round 2, man, goddamn, round 2. Yuri started to land big. He got him hurt. He got him backing up. And how did it end, my friend?
Bro, so it actually, you know, it went with the takedown because Reyes put him in the guillotine attempt, and I thought it was in pretty deep.
It did look pretty deep.
But Yuri slipped his head out. Yeah. They had a nice little grappling exchange. When they were getting back up, Prochazka landed that nice left that I thought kind of rocked Reyes a little bit, like kind of put him on like notice of like, hey, we got some power shots coming your way, sir. And then gets him up against the fence, lands a couple other nice shots, tries to throw an overhand elbow with the right, kind of grazes the top of the head, but goes over and misses. And then, I mean, Prochazka, like we talked about, man, super creative striker, just throws the nastiest 180 spinning elbow with his left and connects flush on the face with Reyes. And, I mean, he was out cold. So cold that when he dropped, he went face forward, landed directly on his face, arms at his sides. Like, that's when you know a guy is completely out. Completely out.
The cleanest spinning elbow knockout. So gorgeous.
It's one of the best I've seen.
And it's a note of all fighters out there of how to use the spinning elbow. Because nothing pisses us off more than we're watching, like, the early prelims and, like, people are whipping spinning elbows in, like, the open mat. And just, like, you know.
And they're just like bullshitting with it, or eating huge shots when they throw them because they don't know what they're doing.
Or getting their back taken, and it's like, Prochazka, that was the first spinning elbow. Like, really, you really only should throw one, like, because you either throw it and it lands, and the fight's over.
Probably 3 at most. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably once every 5 minutes you can sneak one in.
Yeah, and also he had him up against the cage, which managed.
That's huge.
It's huge.
That's huge.
It's huge. It's like he knew. There was no way he could be further back than X. So he knew the range.
Right.
If he throws it anywhere in this range, like, he has to be there, essentially. So it was gorgeous. It was so explosive. It was so amazing. And, like, people try to act like style points don't matter, but, like, they do, especially when it comes to getting a title shot. They definitely do. And yeah, so I don't even know if we mentioned it, but obviously if people know Dom Reyes, we're fighting a light heavyweight 205. And yeah, man, 205 went from being the least talked about division to being a super fun one. Like, essentially, like, I don't want to say overnight because it, you know, it's been building, but yeah, man, Prochazka has the world's attention too. Cause, like, you know, we're obviously like big Twitter guys, big MMA. We have follow all the pages. We kind of get a pulse. But what I always love is whenever people that don't usually talk about a fight, like that really accounts that have nothing to do with fighting, are talking about the fight. Prochazka, man,
right. And
there's not really a guarantee of when that occurs. Like, sometimes it happens on pay-per-view, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's for belts, sometimes it's but on last night, especially for the fact that it was a fight night with not a belt, like, there were so many people, like, tweeting about it. Like it was like the talk of the town. Like, Prochazka managed to capture the imagination of the public.
I feel like when you watch him, man, he's just like electric. Like, his style is just literally like there's no better word than electric, because he just kind of has this like weird movement that no one else on earth has. And then he throws shots from these crazy angles because the angles he puts himself in are so weird. And then he has an iron chin.
Yeah.
Like, he ate shots from Ozdemir and got rocked and, like, was fine. And then the reason they were on the ground in the second round was because he got rocked hard by Reyes after Reyes was, like, big time hurt. I think he broke Reyes' nose in the first round again too,
Yeah,
which Reyes' nose is done from Blachowicz, that legendary Polish power, and it is legendary, as I always like to say for him.
For sure, man. And so I think, so yeah, I mean, Prochazka wins. Now, do you know Prochazka got double bonus?
Did he?
Yeah, bro.
They got fight of the night, and he got KO?
Bro,
I knew he got the KO bonus. I didn't know he got fight of the night.
I checked like 3 different sources because I thought that like it was like glitching or some shit. I was like, what? Like I was like, what?
Wow, so 100.
He got
100K
bonus. Yep, and then good for Dom Reyes getting the 50K. I mean, I think that was like I don't know. I kind of don't think it deserved fight of the night. I'm kind of back and forth.
Hell no.
Like,
I mean, actually.
Like, I'm happy Reyes got 50. I'm happy Prochazka got double bonus. But do I think that was the best fight of the card? I don't.
You know what's weird is there were people saying that would be up for fight of the year on Twitter.
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was maybe up for knockout of the year all fucking day and twice on Sunday. But
yeah, I think you're giving Reyes too much credit. Yeah. Like, I don't think he landed that much.
And it only went 2 rounds in a 5-round fight. What are you talking about? I didn't even go the distance in a 3-round fight. Like, if a fight goes 2 rounds, and I'm pretty sure that knockout was pretty like early in the second round. So it's like
it was 4 minutes in. 4 minutes in. So they fought 9 minutes in total.
9 minutes. Yeah, I don't in a 5-round fight. I don't. To me, yeah, that maybe I have different criteria, but the knockout of the year all fucking day long. Like
for sure.
I'll talk it with you
for sure.
Yeah, but yeah,
I just feel like fight of the year. Like you got to talk about like a war. Like that wasn't necessarily a war by any means.
No, like especially with some of the the split decisions and stuff we got tonight. I like Jacoby Kudalaba. I thought was like a better fight, like a closer, more competitive fight. Yeah, like hell, even Kai Kamaka to Brown. But it did go to decision. Like, I don't know. They don't like giving bonuses to decisions. But I mean, if you're talking fight of the night, to me,
I feel like a fight of the night is like a close decision. Is like what a fight of the night should be.
I agree, bro. I agree. Maybe they feel differently. Apparently, they do. But on the flip side, I'm not hating. Like I'm honest. I'm super stoked that Prochazka got the 100 Gs, and I'm happy that Reyes, for all his troubles recently, at least got a little.
God damn.
For it. And
I mean, that guy's just been getting his ass whooped in the last 2 fights. The John Jones fight was like he didn't take too much damage because John isn't that damaging of a guy unless he finishes or submits you. Like he'll just outpoint you at this point in his career.
So 205, man. Let's talk fallout ramifications.
Yeah, so it's already pretty much guaranteed. Yuri, as by Dana's admission, gets the winner of Teixeira and Jan. Jan has already challenged Yuri as of this morning on Twitter. Told him, like, can't wait to fight you. Like, we're going to fight in Poland, in the capital, in Szczecin.
So, I mean, are we disrespecting Glover? Like, is it just a foregone? Is this a formality? Like, is this a coronation ceremony? Is a rebelt polishing ceremony for Jan Blachowicz?
All I'm going to say is, anytime Glover has fought people with like devastating power in his career, it doesn't end well for him.
Yeah, because he's too willing to eat shots, and he at this point at his age, it's not like he's super quick to get out of the way of shots. I feel it.
And his grappling takedown wise, Jan won't get taken down by him.
I can't wait to So I mean, you think it's gonna be over like a -400 or like a over?
I think it'll be like -310. Jan.
I think that's fair.
And like plus 240 to Glover.
Okay.
No, like plus like 250. We'll give him 250.
For sure. I think that's fair. Because I'm not saying I think Glover should win, but I just think like literally all of Twitter, all of anybody was like, oh yeah, so Yuri's fighting Jan, and it's like there is an actual fight that's gonna take place that like 2 people.
But Yuri gets the winner. Regardless.
The winner, but I've never heard it phrased that way once yet.
So you have your PC man. Will you look up the rankings and give me the top 5 as they currently stand? Like I know they're gonna update and change.
Yeah, I got them right here. Yeah, I don't even got to pull them up. I got them. So Yuri was 5 last night. Above him 4 Santos, 3 was Reyes, 2 is Rakic, which nobody is talking about. He's like totally out of the equation. But he's sitting at 2 right behind Glover, and then it's Glover and Jan. So, I mean...
I think Rakic gets the loser of the fight. Yuri gets the winner.
The loser of Glover Blachowicz?
Yeah.
You don't think if Glover loses that, he probably just retires, right? I mean, you think he's going to keep fighting young lions and climb his way back up? I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends where his contract's at, most likely.
Or if the UFC even wants him to fight anymore after that.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, and Glover's been open about saying this is his last title.
That's what I'm saying. So
you're right. I
think if he loses now, and then Rockets got jumped. So if in some freak scenario, if Glover wins, so Prochazka gets it before Jan gets his rematch. That's why I have a problem with getting this far, putting the cart this far before the horse when Dana does this, kind of like he did with Colby Covington. Like you can't announce you can announce the number one contender, but not until after the fight, in my opinion. Like if a fight still has to take place, because like I said, that shit can all go to shit real quick. I said some scenario, Glover Teixeira wins the belt. So Prochazka gets the title shot before Blachowicz gets his rematch,
Yeah.
Prochazka does.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm saying there's gonna be people. I mean, he beat.
Fuck.
Yeah, you know. I mean,
that's a situation.
That's a situation. That's what I'm saying. And there's no need for that situation. If they would just let it play out, like we'll announce the next title after this title fight takes place. Like there's not. There's nothing. But at the same time,
you're probably right about that. You're probably right about that.
It did a lot to build the hype on Prochazka. Prochazka now has title challenger next to in his Twitter bio. I don't know if he actually does, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean he's the proclaimed. Yeah, he's the proclaimed ascendant, essentially.
The proclaimed number one contender, according to everybody in their fucking dog.
I mean, I think he is though. Like when you look at him fight all the rest of the guys, like Rockets looked good in his last fight. I'm not taking anything away, but Prochazka's finishing these guys in electric fashion.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here. And I am kind of calling out that they did kind of put the cart before the horse, and that an actual fight's going to take place between Glover Teixeira and Jan Blachowicz. And I just haven't heard any of those sentences said. So
I think you're just respect to Glover over here, which I feel that, and he deserves it.
I didn't hear those sentences said anywhere else or tweeted anywhere else, so I wanted to use my podcast to say those sentences.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah. You're not wrong. Yeah. You're not wrong. Glover deserves that.
And what do you do with Rockets? Do you give Rockets Reyes? They already did that. They did Rockets, right? Or am I tripping? They did Rockets Reyes
No, they did Rockets Santos.
Yeah. So is it Rockets Reyes next, and then what does Santos?
Who's it like 6, 7, 8?
6, 7, 8. You got Anthony Smith at 6 coming off a win. You got Ankalaev at 7 and Ozdemir at 8. Krylov at 9.
I think Ankalaev Reyes is next.
Ankalaev Reyes. Okay. I'm there for that. And then what do you do with Santos, bro? What does Santos do next? Because he already
or Ankalaev Krylov, Reyes Krylov. I think Reyes just fights the guy that's right behind him wherever he drops to. I don't know where he drops to though. And then what do we do with who?
Santos. I don't even have an idea of what to do with Santos because he kind of needs to fight kind of soon, right? It's been I think 6 months at least since he fought. I mean,
no. He fought recently against Rakic and lost.
He lost, but I mean, what? I mean, that's over 3 months. I mean, that's a cool minute ago, but that was an early
It was probably 2 months ago.
2 months ago? Okay, so maybe not. Actually, there's no need. I got my laptop right here.
Just click on
it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just click on it. Yeah.
I'm fucking caveman over here.
We're cavemen. It's fine. It's fine, dude. And I should just be better and know the last card he fought on.
All right, so he fought on March 6th. You're right. That wasn't that long ago. Long ago.
It's almost 2 months to the day.
Yeah. And then
because today's May 2nd.
And then Santos fought Teixeira before that and lost. So yeah, Santos is coming. See, Santos is coming off 2 L's, but he's still ranked at 4. That's why I don't know what to do with him. That's why I'm so confused. Do you use him as a gatekeeper but there's no super duper exciting young because Crute just failed his test. I guess there's no super young so 10 is Johnny Walker, 11 is Ryan Spann, 12 is Kirk Nuv, 13 is Crute who just lost, 14 is Paul Craig, 15 Jamal Hill, and I think Craig and Hill are already booked if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, it's just like I don't know what to do with Rakic, and I don't know what to do with Santos. And the problem is, ordinarily, the answer would be those two guys fight, but they just fight each other less. I don't know what to do with those guys.
Who's number 7? Smith 6.
Ankalaev.
Okay, let's do Ankalaev Santos. Right, let's give Ankalaev the shot to break into the top 5, top 4.
Okay.
Right, and then Rakic's just probably gonna have to chill for a minute.
I don't like that though, man. I mean, because he's young, like he needs to be fighting, and he's coming up a win. Like he didn't take that much damage. Like,
I mean, there's just no one that's worth it for him to fight though. If Yuri's got the shot locked.
That sucks though. Yeah, but I feel you. I feel you, man. But yeah.
I mean, it would be cool if Yuri and Rakic fought. That'd be nice. On the same card as Glover and Jan. That'd be sick.
And so what I got to talk about next, bro, is next week's card was going to be Sandhagen-Dillashaw. It's scrapped. I don't know. It seems like the card kind of went to shit.
Yeah.
Like
it's a sad card. They just don't. You know why? You know why? They don't give a shit, man. The 15th. The 15th's a massive card. They don't give a shit about the 8th.
See, it says 2BD. Because at first, the two girl fighters were like pronounced themselves the new main event. And I'm looking them up. I'm slipping my mind right now. But see, right as of now, on both Google and UFC, the only fight officially scheduled is Jun Young Park versus Tafon and Chikadze. That's the only fight scheduled or announced for May 8th. There's a whole card. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there. That's like we're so close. What's even going to happen? Do you think they scrap the card? They've never done that yet. Is it just going to be all last-minute replacement fighters, like a whole card of last-minute, like unranked, like contender series fighters?
Or do they have fighters that are under contract and they just haven't made them public? Like,
it's bizarre.
Or like haven't announced? Like, yeah, I'm so confused.
Yeah, so it's very rare. I mean, we're 6 days out. Yes, 5.5 days out. And there's no fights announced besides that one fight. But that sounds like a pretty dope fight, honestly. Because isn't that the turtle guy, Jun Young Park, or am I tripping? Is that that's not him. But and Chikadze's the freak of nature dude who's super swole, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that'll be. I mean, honestly, I'm not mad at that announcement. It's just so bizarre.
It might be the Iron Turtle.
Let me click on it. Maybe it says his name. Caveman. Yeah, the Iron Turtle. The Iron Turtle.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah.
The Don Tafon and Chikadze. So yeah, that's a fun fight. I'm here for it. They got a couple of thickies, but yeah, bizarre. I don't know what they're gonna do. Well, I'll be retweeting shit as I find out. But yeah, man, this is episode 45 of Beefy Boys Breakdown.
45, yes sir. Yes sir.
All about Prochazka and Chikadze, the rise of some beefy favorites, which puts a big old smile on my face that we got that one right. Light heavyweight division, a little bit of a mess. Got some things, but I
kind of deteriorating.
Yeah, and these things kind of take care of themselves, right? And at least we got Prochazka to be excited about. And I'm still happy Glover's getting his shot. And Jan is a pretty dope champ. We'll see if Jan can beat Izzy, Glover, and Prochazka back to back, like truckloads of respect, and Reyes. Truckloads of respect are going to need to start being put on that man's name.
Yeah, that shit is legendary. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'll have to be said.
That's a lot of ifs and nuts with cherries and butts. You know what I'm saying? But
he's close, though. 2 wins, and we're at that scenario.
And it's not inconceivable. Like, he'd probably be favored in those fights. He's definitely favored in the next one. And if he wins that one in convincing fashion, it's hard to.
He's favored against Prochazka.
That's what I'm saying.
For sure.
That's what I'm saying. It's interesting. It's interesting at 205. It's all interesting, man. We love this shit. Hope you love it. We love you guys. We're literally 1 subscriber away from 100.
Yeah, I mean, whoever subscribes gets the prize. Yeah, like, come on now.
Next subscriber, and send us a screenshot. Go subscribe. Be the 100th. I think literally the next person that subscribes to Beefy Boys Breakdown, same logo as my shirt and as our background poster. You'll get something. We'll figure out what it is. Maybe even if it's just like a Venmo or whatever, we'll figure something out. But yeah, go be the 100th subscriber. Get us to that triple digits, baby. Or you can find us wherever you get your audio podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You know what it is. Thanks so much, brother. Looking forward to next week, as always, with the mystery card. Don't even know what we're going to be breaking down, but we'll be breaking down something, even if it's a one fight.
Soon to find out, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be a lot of contender series, guys. Who's the fucking bald lightweight that steps in every time and gets beat?
Fuck,
swings
dude.
for
He's
the
like
fences.
145, and he got the big Justin James.
Yeah,
Justin James.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a bet? You want to put a little free spot in Justin James? I'm feeling confident that we see Justin James. I'm feeling really confident that he gets the old phone call. I'm feeling it. Oh man, but
talk to me in an hour, and I'll make that bet with you.
For sure, bro. For sure, man. Hey, good time as always, brother. Have a great week, my guy.
Yeah, you too, bro. You too.